What's good? What's good, y'all? What's up, man? It's your boy, man, NYG Double Deuce, aka Unpopular Opinion Sports, and I'm back here with my co-host, Mr. Coach Ed Gladney, and we're here to bring you. You already know what it is. Heart of the city, man. We're talking about all New York City area sports. We got a lot to get into, a lot going on around in the city, a lot of buzz between all the teams, man. But before we get into all that, want to check in on the chat. Want to check in on my co-host, Mr. Coach Ed Gladney. Coach, what's good with you, man? I know we took a
What's
little hiatus, but we back now. What's up? What's up?
what's
2024.
up?
What you talking about?
Use the beeping back here. I don't know what's going on in this place, but
Don't worry about it, man.
um but I'm good. Everything's all right. So just ready to get dive into the heart of the city. So let's go.
Big time facts, man. Me too. Um, so with the chat, man. What's good with y'all, man? How y'all feeling, man? In this new year, Kev, what up? What up, Kev? Kev, stay right tuned, man. I want to talk about these Knicks, man, making big, major moves. Of course, we're gonna get into that, man.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you too, man.
Happy New
We're
Year,
gonna.
everyone. Definitely. Hope y'all had a good New Year celebration. And 24 is at the door, ready to give you more, and let's go.
But we got a lot to get into, y'all. We got a lot to get into. Of course, like I said, New York Knicks. New York Knicks making a major trade, trading for OG Anunoby from the Toronto Raptors. Of course, they had to give up two favorites in some Knicks eyes, some Knicks fans' eyes, and RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, especially Emmanuel Quickly. So we're gonna talk about that. As far as the Brooklyn Nets are concerned, they're in action right now against the Pelicans. It ain't looking good. It ain't been looking good for this team for the last, 10, 12 games. So they're in a major slump. Rumblings going around about Cam Thomas and Mikal Bridges. So we definitely going to get into that. Rangers in action tonight. Still on top of the conference. Still doing their thing. We're going to update you on the NHL standings for the Rangers, the Islanders, and the Devils. Um, we're going to give you the updates on the Yankees and the Mets free agent news. Of course, missing out on Yayamoto. What is the plan? What is the fallback plans, particularly for the Yankees? Because they sold us a bill of goods like that was the dude and they had him on lock. So typical Yankee stuff. But Mets were in on it too. Mets been kind of quiet this offseason. Think they taking kind of a little bit of different approach, more on the rebuild side of things, whereas the Yankees are trying to win that next ring. And it's the New York Giants. Um, One of the most exhausting teams for me to talk about, just given how the fans act and the weird things that take place in the games that they play. Of course, lose another head scratcher to the Rams, a team that, yeah, is arguably better than you, but you still should have beat them. You know what I'm saying? Get a terrific punt return by the punt returner Gunner Olewinski. So shout out to him, but all for nothing as they go down again to the Rams. And we have nothing else to talk about, folks, except the offseason and the draft. So that will be the focus for the Giants and as well as these New York Jets because, yeah, they bumming it up too. You know what I'm saying? But different tunes or sounds, whereas the Jets feel like, they're Aaron Rodgers away from being back in Super Bowl contention, and the Giants are looking forward to a complete rebuild at this point. So that's what we got for y'all today. I will be updating the ticker here. Like I said, the Nets and Pelicans are in action, and the Rangers and the Hurricanes are also in action. I will be updating that here as we go along. I don't know what happened to Coach, but it is what it is, man. He'll be back soon. He'll be back. Let me let me set it off with. There
There
he
he
is.
is.
All right.
All right. Sorry about that.
Now you good. Let's set it off with this Nick trade, coach. So Knicks trade for OG Anunoby. Um, they gave up Emmanuel quickly, um, RJ Barrett, second round pick, and they got Anunoby, Precious Achua, and Malachi Flynn.
Yeah,
Malachi Flynn.
Malachi Flynn,
Malachi Flynn
Precious,
and
Precious, Achoa.
Achiwa. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was the trade. So a lot of fans are not not too happy about this. A lot of Knicks fans because of the fact that they had to involve Emmanuel quickly in the deal. You know, Emmanuel quickly coming off a 6 man. He was in the running for 6 man of the year. I know last year. So good player. You know, one of those scoring guards who can come off the bench. You know, put up points quickly, as his name suggests, and also a pretty decent defender from what I know. RJ Barrett, on the other hand, I feel like a lot of Knicks fans were kind of at their road with him. You know, been a inconsistent player that the Knicks gave a contract to, but he's been pretty much inconsistent, and I feel like the writing was kind of on the wall for RJ. Now, and shout out to you, Coach. Before I turn it over to you, this is setting up, from all accounts that I'm hearing, another major move for the Knicks, and that one could involve Julius Randle. So that's why I put the title here. Are there more moves to be made? And what are we grading this trade? Is it a win for the Knicks, or did they get fleeced, as people want to say? All right, Coach, you got it. Y'all
Well,
hit that like
here's
button,
some.
man. Comment in the chat, man. Come in, pull up with us, man. New show, new year, but we still bringing the heat. You already know what it is, man. Y'all join in. Go ahead.
Man, as far as the trade, I mean, I get everyone's concern and upset about quickly. Yeah, he was one of our better players and favorite players, and what he was doing with the second unit, was understandable. But let's take the emotions out of this. Straight up, take the emotions out, and you have to look at this from a business perspective. Number one, quickly wasn't coming back. He wasn't coming back. The Knicks were not going to give him $20 to $25 million to come off the bench. That's just a reality.
And he
You
was a
know,
pending free agent, is what you're saying,
yes,
right? Okay.
yes,
Okay.
he was a free agent, so he was not coming back. So, you're trying to get something for him. R.J. Barrett, he's reached his ceiling with the Knicks. He really did. Um,
Yeah.
so, and actually, OG is pretty much going to do everything that he did, except he does not need the ball in his hand. Number one. Number two, he's a lot bigger, longer, better defender. He can hit those corner threes, which for the most part, that's what RJ was penciled to do in Tibbs' offense. OG he can guard 1 through 5. I mean,
Hmm.
1 through 5. That tells you everything you need to know in terms of what you're getting out of this player. So um, you're also getting a backup power forward. I said it earlier. I mean, the Knicks didn't have a backup power forward.
They
And plus
didn't.
with Mitchell Robinson down,
Because
he can
wasn't y'all
go down.
using Josh Hart as like the backup for
Josh
at
Hart at
times?
times, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, RJ Barrett did at times also
Mm-hmm.
play the backup for.
And those guys are
So
6'6" too. So
yeah. So
they're
and
not
OG
six
is
eight.
6'8", six
OG,
nine.
yeah.
with like a 7 foot wingspan. So
Mm-hmm.
it makes a lot of sense. And like I said, Precious.
What's good, Vinny? What up? What up? What's good, bro?
So
Shoot.
he gives you some depth and some toughness and some rebounding, which is definitely missed now that Mitchell is out for the season. Malachi Flynn played at Syracuse. I know they say San Diego State, but he played at Syracuse also. Um, he was a good point guard at Syracuse. So um, I don't know what his role is going to be. I mean, the Knicks just upped. Deuce McBride. So, they just signed him to an extension. So it looks like he's going to be the backup point guard. So, but, um, and then, in the trade, one of the things that, I'm intrigued because you gave up that second round draft pick and it's actually Detroit's second round draft pick. So that's going to be basically pick number 31. So
A higher pick, yeah.
that's a high, yeah. So while it's
Hmm.
not a first rounder, it's still
It's close.
a valuable pick. So, and the other thing is with OG, the Knicks have the time right now to, even though he said he wants to be here, you have the
Iman, what's good, Iman?
what's up? You have
Vinny
you have.
says, I hear a fire. So I
Yeah,
thought he'd check
I
up on
know. I
KJ.
apologize. That's going on here, where I'm at. I just got to push through, bro. I'm sorry.
Go
So
ahead, man. You good.
yeah, so they have to convince more. So I mean, if it bottoms out, then yes, that's where you're going to probably grade it going forward because if you end up possibly losing OG after the season, then you gave up a lot. But if you sign him and he can give you say 17 to 20 points a game, 8 rebounds, plays very solid defense, then it's a good deal. If you got
Mm-hmm.
Precious coming off the bench, filling the role of, in a sense, what we wanted from um, Obi Toppin
Mm-hmm.
coming off the bench, then, is it really a bad trade? It's a good win-win for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
Barrett, he's going back to Toronto. He's from Toronto, so that's home for
That's
him. And
true.
then
That's true.
quickly will
Um,
now get the opportunity to start, from my understanding, out there in Toronto.
you
So
more than welcome to come through, Cash, and give your take. I know you are a big time Knicks fan, so definitely
so
want to
I don't
get your
have a
perspective on
major
this.
issue with the trade. And now, as far as the other trades, I've heard that yeah, the Knicks were going to investigate the possibility, talking to teams like Chicago, Cleveland, Atlanta.
I
Um,
heard Donovan Mitchell's name
yeah,
thrown out there. I'm hearing Carl Anthony Towns. I'm hearing a bunch of different names being floated out there, but the question I want to ask to you and Kev, appreciate you joining the show,
Problem,
is
man. Thank you for having me.
is this the move that you feel like the Knicks need to make in order? Because I'm hearing a lot of Knicks fans saying, this is a move that like this is going to be pushing to be a championship caliber type team, with OG Anunoby in the mix now. I personally don't feel like that, but I'm not a Knicks fan. You know what I'm saying? I just keep my ear to the streets as far as
here.
all the New York teams are concerned. So, what are y'all's thoughts on? Let's let Kev let's Kev get his thoughts, and then we'll come back to you real quick, Coach. What's your thoughts on all this, Kev? Man, is this it for the Knicks? Are they championship stamped, or do you feel like they're gonna make another move? And if so, what move do you see them making?
Um, First off, Happy New Year's, fellas. Um,
Happy New
uh,
Year, bro.
you know, wish all the best to you and your family, to the both of you guys. Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me on the show too. Um,
Absolutely, anytime.
um, when it comes to the Knicks, I don't think this makes us a contending team.
Might want to speak
Uh,
up a little bit, bro. Your volume is low.
you can you hear me now?
Yeah, you better now.
Okay. As far as the Knicks, I don't think this makes us a contending team. But I think this is like the start of something that's to come. You know what I mean? Like this is just gonna be the beginning stages of it. I think it did make us better defensively, which is something that we lack. Um, I think when it came to um, guarding the perimeter and stuff like that, we was getting cooked. Like, once Mitch went down, you saw the difference in the defense in the team. So I think that um, once after that Magic ball, I think that's when the Knicks was like, can you hear me good? Or
What happened? Did he fall off?
nah, I was just making sure because for some
Oh,
reason I couldn't hear you.
okay.
Hold on. I think it's my headphone. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. NYJ,
Oh,
are
okay.
you muted? NYJ,
Nah,
you
I didn't
muted.
know if y'all could hear me, so I just took my headphones off. My bad.
Yeah, you good.
So
You good
yeah,
now.
so I feel like this was a move necessary. It's unfortunate that we had to, give up Emmanuel quickly in the trade. But I agree with Coach. I think once we couldn't get that deal re-signed, it was a wrap. I think he was asking like 25 million plus. So I don't think the Knicks was willing to give something like that up. Which if you ask me, kind of hurt. I love Quick. I love RJ as well. But I feel like RJ was struggling on the defensive side, and not only just that, I think that his shot, the 3-point shot, really wasn't dropping for him. So I think
Inconsistent.
that's
Yeah.
why he was like included in that trade. So I like the OG trade. At first I was a little shocked. I had mixed feelings about it because obviously, we seen RJ and Emmanuel quickly grow up with this team and they helped turn the process around for the Knicks. But unfortunately, the way the business is, sometimes people got to get sacrificed, and those guys got sacrificed for the better of the team.
I'm gonna tell you what I do like what the Knicks are doing right here. Tom Thibodeau, defensive minded head coach, right?
Mhm.
He's going and getting players that are going to play defense. They're gonna fit his system.
Mhm. Mhm.
He went out and got DiVincenzo.
Mhm.
Got your man just now, Anunoby. And what you were saying too with RJ Barrett is one of the things that I seen with RJ Barrett. Defensively, he's a little inconsistent. 3-point shooting, inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? With Tibbs, you basically have to be a 3-and-D player, per se, unless you're, Brunson or Randall, which are the go-to scorers, the stars, or per se. So that's what I see that the Knicks are trying to. I can kind of see the vision that they're trying to build. They're trying to build a team that can slow down Milwaukee and, teams like Boston offensively. And that's smart. That's smart thinking because sometimes you can't fight fire with fire. You know what I'm saying? You got to put some water on that. You know what I'm saying? So, and in the Eastern Conference, especially in the playoffs, guess what? You're gonna have a defensive, tough-minded type team to win in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Sucks you guys lost Mitch Robinson because I think he was the staple for that, but Hardenstein hasn't been that bad. So, but that's my take. But coach, what's your thoughts, man? I'm gonna say what's up to Earl. What's good, Earl? Appreciate you coming through, man. Shout out to Earl, man. If you ain't subscribed to Earl, definitely go do so right now. Link is in my description, man. Giving out excellent wrestling contacts takes got me back interested in the wrestling world. So shout out to you, Earl. Appreciate all you do for the community. Earl says, "What will it take for the Knicks to win a championship in the NBA?" Hope, I guess.
Um,
Coach.
Here we go. I mean, now earlier you asked, is this make them a championship contender in the East? No, it doesn't. But it's like Kev said, it's a start. It's like chess, man. This is the first move, and there's going to be more
Mhm.
moves to come. So, um, what do they do as far as a star? NYG, you talked about Randall. Right now, Randall can't go anywhere. I'm gonna be brutally honest. He can't unless you're getting a superstar back who's going to be that closer.
I
But
thought that's what the talk was that they was
yeah, I
gonna
know,
get
I
a
know, I know. I've heard some of the same talk, but and you know me, you know how I've talked about Randall, and I've killed him. But right now he's the top scorer. He's the one that you got to rely on. Yes, I know. Come playoff time, he has to step it up and produce. But right now, he's what's going to help get you to the playoffs. And unless you're getting that type of quality, that's going to give you 25 and 10 or if not more, then you can't trade Randall, you know,
Mhm.
um, in that regard. So, um, but
Knicks
now you
fans be
talk.
sleeping on Randall though, man. I mean, I know that dude is a little bit of a head case sometimes, man, but he be
Can
putting
I
up
say
buckets.
can I say something about the
I
whole
ain't gonna
Julius
front.
Randle thing? When it
Go
comes to
ahead.
Knicks fans, like I don't understand why this keeps coming up. Like, bro, we already know Julius Randle isn't going anywhere. Like, I think that's set in stone already. They trying to build
DZ,
around
what's
Julius
good? What's
Randle.
good, man?
They
Appreciate you,
trying to
DZ.
build around Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. Like who you and then my thing is who you gonna trade Julius Randle for? You know, it don't make sense to me.
Is it worth trading Carl Anthony Towns for Julius Randle?
I'm not gonna make that trade to be honest with you. Like
Okay, I'm
I
just
I
I'm just
I,
throwing
I
it out
just
there. Yeah.
yeah, I just see Julius Randle cook Carl Anthony Towns for he put a 40 on him. Like and if you looking at their numbers, they're both similar players. I think Carl Anthony Towns might be the better 3-point shooter,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, he Julius Randle gives us the same exact thing at less money.
Mm-hmm.
But
Less money.
Kev's going to come down to playoff. If they're both the same, it's going to come down to the
Man
playoffs.
cave.
Who's going to produce in the
This man
playoffs?
cave, right?
Yeah,
And the
what's
thing
good,
is,
bro?
hey, what's going
Okay,
on,
okay.
man?
What's up? What's
And the
good, man
thing
cave?
is, coach, if you look at their playoff numbers, both players are putting up almost the same amount of numbers in the playoffs. If you really do the research.
I understand. But that's what it's going to come down to. I mean, if
Mhm.
you do trade for Carl Anthony Towns, the only advantage that he will have over Julius Randle is he's a Jersey boy. I mean,
Mhm.
other than that, if you're telling me they're
That's
both
a
the
fact.
same,
That's
then
a fact.
then that's the only thing that you would get over
Who tougher
over
though?
Randle.
Cause I heard some things about Carl Anthony Towns in the
I don't
locker
know.
room that
Like I
he
don't know.
might be a
Like I
little
just
bit of a
He's a
little,
prima donna. Yeah, he's a
a
prima
little
donna. I know.
like
soft. You know what I'm
we
saying?
just seen Carl Anthony Towns watch his own teammate get yoked. He put in a chokehold and he ain't even do nothing. Like I'm good, man. I'm good on that.
Okay, and
I'm good.
that's fair. I mean, again, those are everything that you have to take the equation. The point
Mhm.
being is, if you're going to trade Julius Randle, you need a player of that caliber though to come
Yeah,
back. That's
Yeah.
absolutely.
that's all it really boils down to. What players are on that level in the league that you would say right now you would trade Julius for? And NYG will tell you, I've been yelling like, yo, I can't stand Julius at times. I mean, he cries too much at the wrong time,
Hmm.
so I mean, but right now with this RJ trade, you can't trade him, because of what he's bringing to the table, what he does, and what you've given up, and also with quickly right now, because what are you going to do in terms of
The bench.
addition? Yeah, the
Yeah.
bench scoring. I mean, who? I mean, I just do. I think it's going to be another move happening, or it's a strong possibility. Yeah, I do. I do. To be honest with you, I think it's probably going to it. If I'm looking at all the prospected players that the Knicks can probably trade for, it's going to be Murray down in Atlanta. And
Yep.
I know a lot of people want Mitchell. They talk
But for
about because
who?
he's
And don't y'all
I
gotta
love
like
that
how
idea,
many
coach.
how many guys y'all gonna have
I ain't
though?
gonna hold you, coach.
How
I
no
many
no
love
no
that
guys you got,
idea.
man?
no NYG. Listen. Mitchell
I
is
know
that
it's a
closer. That's the thing. He's that closer, and then we just talked about playoff. He's that one get come playoff time that you can put the ball and let him
okay.
do
So you
now.
gonna put him at the two, I guess. Brunson at the one,
Hmm.
Hmm.
OG
That's
at the three,
yeah.
and Randall at four, and Hartenstein at five.
Right now, based on what's on the team, yeah,
I like the DeJounte Murray move better.
yeah.
I,
No, Murray's
But what's
taller.
that gonna cost you though?
yeah, but it might not cost us what people think because of the assets that we got. You know,
Yeah, I think Murray will come cheaper than Mitchell.
Yeah,
facts,
yeah, he
facts.
will.
Yeah.
And to
I
be honest with you, I find it hard to believe Cleveland, because Cleveland still has his right, Mitchell's rights, because they have one more year before you have to even think about doing that. So it's just that you hear
I
the
wouldn't
tea
mind seeing
leaves.
Mitchell in the Nets uniform at this point. Like for real.
Are you a
I ain't
Nets
gonna
fan?
hold you, man. Yeah, man. I'm the Nets fan up here. Well, here come another one. Breezy, what's good?
Yeah, I ain't want to leave you here alone with all these Knicks fans up here, man. Yo,
Hey,
but
cut
now,
that BS. Cut that BS. Y'all leave me up here with all the Nets fans. So don't you try that BS, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
nah,
Stop.
but shout to the panel. Happy New
Stop.
Year, y'all. Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New Year to
Same
you
to you,
too,
brother.
man. To all y'all, man. To everybody.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Hold on, I just wanted to add to the Murray thing. I know everybody's asking to try to get him. I think he fit for the Brooklyn Nets. We need him more than anything. And if we could trade Spence and Royce, Royce played for Coach Snyder in Utah, so you know what I mean. Maybe they'll take Royce back because some draft picks and Spence. I don't know though. NYG 22. What you think? You think we could get Dejounte Murray, or is too far fetched?
Yeesh.
I don't think it's far fetched. I don't think Donovan Mitchell is far fetched. Look, man. Look, you have young assets. You're gonna have to let one of them go. Sorry, it's gonna be Cam or Bridges. One of them gonna be included in the trade, and then you got to figure out what you're gonna do with Nick Claxton. Because he has to get re-signed, or either you're gonna let him walk. So those are the three question marks I got. Like, who are you? Which one of the guys are you gonna let go? If you think you can do it with Spence and um, Royce
Royce.
O'Neal, sure.
Nah,
I've
you
been
probably
wanting to get
probably
Spence and
gonna do
Dinwiddie
probably
out
gonna
of
do
here, but I think they're gonna want a little bit more than that.
Hold on,
gonna
hold
do
on, hold on. Let me say this. Let me say this last thing about Dejounte Murray. Dejounte Murray is not a hard sell. He's making 17 mil a year, and this is his last year on his contract. I
No,
don't
it's
think
not. No, it's not. No, it's not. He just signed a 4 year deal before the summer. 4 year,
that's a
$120 million deal
fact.
with the
That's a fact.
Hawks.
That's a fact.
okay,
Mm.
That's a
okay.
fact.
Even with that being the case, again, Atlanta's not successful. He wanted to go to a playoff bound team. They a
Right.
fringe play in team. So I know he
Shit,
left
so are
the
we.
Spurs. Yeah, no, we are. But case in point is to what you said, NYG 22. I don't think they would take Cam Thomas because it would automatically make them a small defenseless backcourt. With Trey Young and Cam Thomas, yeah, they'll be able to score the ball, but I don't see how they will have perimeter defense without Murray. But if you got Royce O'Neal and Spence, maybe that might alleviate some of the defense that Murray brings. But I don't know, man. I thought the season would be different for the Brooklyn Nets up until now. I was wrong, but
Me too.
you know what I'm
Me
saying,
too.
and that's largely part because of the defense. I said we would be a top 10 defensive team.
And we
We are
stink.
20th ranked. So we got a lot of defensive players, no
Yeah,
defensive schemes or
at
nothing like that.
all.
Nobody's contesting a
Oh,
3-pointer. And ultimately, the Murray, me wanting Murray on a team is knowing that he averages a steal and a half a game, and he's one of the better perimeter defenders, in my opinion, in the league. And I just think he could help us, man. But I don't know if it's easy to get him based on that new contract.
But see now the same thing you just talked about for the Nets is another reason why it makes sense for the Knicks, and
right.
it would up the defensive ante on the Knicks. He doesn't even have to be the primary defense because that would be OG. So
Yeah.
it just helps, and Tibbs loves the switching, so that fits it right into that mold. So it makes better sense, and it would definitely help elevate the Knicks at minimum to number 4 in the East, and probably, could they push for Philly, and Murray still can get you buckets, and he has a good mid range, so you know
Facts.
it definitely helps, and he can also rotate with Brunson to play the one at times, so and you can switch them both going off ball at times. And he doesn't have to worry about playing with a Trey Young and just consistently be off ball. It could go both ways. So,
Yeah.
the same way you talking about the Nets, the same thing for the Knicks, man.
Yeah,
The thing
man.
I will say this though, anything adding Mikal Bridges in the trade is a mistake. I think the kid is super talented. I think one thing the Knicks lack is a point. The Nets lack is a point guard. If they had a point guard, I think they would be a much better team. I think
Yeah,
Spencer Dinwiddie at the one is a huge
get him
mistake.
out of
I don't know
here.
why.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't know
tired of
why
that
Jack
guy.
Vaughn got him there at the one. I think that's stupid. I'd rather see Dennis Smith Jr. there if I was me. That's just me. But anything adding Mikal Bridges in a trade is just a big mistake.
No, that ain't gonna happen, man. He's the cornerstone. He ain't going nowhere, bro.
He's a
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
piece,
think that's it.
but
But
he's
listen, if
not
y'all
the
don't want Mikal
piece.
Bridges, I'll gladly trade
No, no,
for
no, no,
y'all.
No,
no.
no, no,
Listen,
no. He's staying with the Nets.
he's a piece, but he's
He's the
not the
piece.
piece. You know what I'm
right.
saying? He's not the piece. You can't go into a game saying, "All right, Mikal Bridges take over this game." He's not that guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we're deficient at because we're relying on him to be that guy. We're relying on Cam Thomas to be that guy, and he's not the guy right now. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that person that can go in and take. That's why the Nets have problems finishing games. We don't
But,
have a closer.
but
We
you have
don't
to.
have
I just said
somebody
I
that
gotta
can
dis
get it done
and
down the
what
stretch.
NYG. I gotta respectfully disagree with that. I follow the Nets and I look at all of the we don't have no strings of stops. We like giving up baskets at will. We can't stop nobody. So even when we go on our little runs on the offensive side of the ball, we never could stop nobody, bro. Never. And they said it was Cam Thomas was the problem. They took him out of the starting lineup, and we still giving up big points, 30 plus, maybe even 40 points in the first quarter. So all of the things that they said that was a problem with Cam Thomas, mainly his defense, they took him out of the starting lineup because of it. We still giving up big points. And I'll be honest, I started the season saying that Jock Vaughn was a good coach. He's not. He's not a good coach, bro. I
I was
gotta be
just about
honest.
to say that
He,
all
you
that
know,
stuff you're talking about with the
yeah.
defensive rotations and stuff, that
Hmm.
stuff is a lot to do with coaching. Now in the
Yeah,
NBA is
it's true.
different than the NFL. You know what I'm saying? In the NBA, you can kind of get by with ISO ball with one guy just taking over the game basically on offense. On defense, it's definitely more of a team game. You need rotations. You gotta switch if you're playing zone. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure you stand within your zone. So it is more of a team game defensively, especially when you're playing these higher powered teams that can score. So Breezy is right. A lot of that does fall on coaching, but to a degree too, players gotta play. And if you're Mikal Bridges and Nick Claxton and some of these guys, you expect a little bit better performance from them. You know what I'm saying? Because they
Right,
were supposed to have been, in the upper tier as far as defensive players are concerned
right.
individually. But a lot of what the Nets problem is when I watch them, it's a rotation thing, bro. They leaving too many wide open shooters just wide open, man, and that's miscommunication and chemistry to
Lack of
me.
discipline too, man.
Yep.
But like I was saying, like if you trade Mikal Bridges, then what is the point of DeJounte Murray coming to Brooklyn? Because then
No,
it's
no, I didn't have Mikal Bridges in the trade package for Deontay Murray. I said trade
Yeah.
Spence and Royce.
oh no,
And
I know
then,
that. I'm talking about just Mikal. He's like your piece right now for right now. I know he's not like the number what you call, but he's a guy that not guys will want to get traded there to help, not come over there. Because if he's not there, then they'd be like, what am I going over there for? If I'm just
Yup.
gonna be by myself, I could stay here in Atlanta, or I could stay here in Cleveland.
hmm no, absolutely, absolutely. I don't think we want to have a superstar dominated team anyhow. I think we supposed to work collectively. And be honest with you, Mikal Bridges, bro, he's more reputation than performance right now. I checked his stats. He averaged 2 steals as a rookie, and every year since then he's uh, regressed. You know what I mean? So on the defensive side of the ball, specifically with the steal stat, this season he's averaging less than 1 steal per game. I try to find a lot of nice things to say about Mikal Bridges. I'm pretty sure he's a good person. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, his basketball game, I haven't seen the consistency from the start of the season. And trust me, I'm the one that was backing them, saying they'll be a top 10 duo, top 15. I was wrong, bro. I gotta walk back what I said, but I definitely had big confidence in Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson coming into the season, and they're not consistent enough for me to say that. They're top 10 duo or even a top 15 duo.
So as you say
Yeah,
that, Breezy,
it's
right
tough. It's a
now,
tough pack.
the Nets are getting smoked 71-41, and
Oh man,
it's not even funny right now the way this team is looking.
I'm gonna go watch
Now,
the rest of the game, man. This is
yeah,
terrible though, man.
yeah.
Oh
Go
man,
watch the rest of the game. I will be tuning into your post game report because this is it getting embarrassing right now.
I
You know
know,
what I'm
man.
saying?
I know. Happy New Year, y'all. Happy New Year.
Bro.
Happy New Year to you
All right,
too, brother.
Be
well, I'm gonna
safe,
get
bro.
back on. I'm gonna get back onto the Knicks, though. You know what I'm saying? As far as the Knicks is like, I see they're gonna have to make another move because the reason why is because
Yeah. Go ahead.
uh Jalen Brunson, yeah, we know Jalen Brunson what he's going to do. The problem is Julius Randle. Julius Randle's a great player in the regular season. The problem is in the postseason. So I'm hoping that he could finally shake that postseason slump because we really need this guy. Because don't get me wrong, he's a great player, but like I said, in 2 playoff appearances, it has not looked good, and that's what the problem is. You know what I'm saying? We could count on the regular season. We need to count him in the postseason because if he really comes to play, we can advance further in the playoffs. If he plays like he played in the regular season, because in the postseason, you're supposed to up your performance anyway. If you average at 24 points in the regular season, go to 29, go to 30 points. You know what I'm saying? That's when stars,
Or at least
legends
up
are
your
made.
defensive performance.
Yeah, that
How
too.
about
Because
that?
because he plays the same way in the playoffs like he do in the regular season. He don't get back on defense. He don't. It's like, bro, you gotta stop. You gotta stop lollygagging. You gotta up your tempo, bro. You gotta move. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying? It's
agree
like,
with that,
don't
man.
even like I say, he's a great player, but like I said, and then also, the other thing in the playoffs with Tom Thibodeau, where he's going wrong in the playoff is a lot of time is like it catches up to him in the postseason because in the regular season that read and react offense that he be running, yeah, it's cool, but when you get in the playoff, defense start clamping on you, especially in the series. You know what I'm saying? They make adjustments, and once they make adjustments, he don't readjust, he don't make adjustments, and that's why the Knicks and that's why his teams like they falter in the playoffs, especially on the offensive end. So I want to see him be more like, I mean, that's why I say they need to add another scorer. Like I said, either Mitchell or Murray or somebody like that, because we need that. We need that other ball handler to, create shots and things like that. Because in the postseason, that's what you need. You need like multiple guys that could create their own offense. Because in the postseason, yeah, teams step up their defense and then they start like either double team you, making somebody else beat you, and then when they can't beat you, that's where you falter at. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I could count on Brunson. I know that Brunson is there. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And
Brunson,
OJ
Brunson is
Anunoby,
good.
yeah, I mean, it was a great move for the Knicks. Even though I'm an RJ fan, things like that. But hey, you know what I'm saying? He fits what the Knicks trying to do on the defensive end. I'm more looking for him for the defensive side because I know. I mean, even talking to Raptors guys, it's like, yo, he's a great defensive player. He's not really a shot creator. I mean, he can hit the shots. You know what I'm saying? But not you don't really want to put the ball in his hands to create for himself. You know what I'm saying? On a consistent basis. I mean, he just does what he does, which is great, which is play defense, make some impacts on the game, and that's what we need. But you know what I'm saying? As far as the other side, we just gonna need some more guys to step up to help Brunson because you seen in the playoffs last year, you know what I mean? He was on one leg and that dude was like he was basically out of gas sometimes, man. And other guys, you know, they wasn't stepping up.
Yeah, but hopefully that's what you can get from a guy like OG. You know what I'm saying? Just to make some timely shots. Sometimes it's just not about. I always think about to like the old school basketball. Like okay, like you have your Jordans and your Pippins or whatever, but you always needed a Stockton. You always needed a Kerr. You needed a Kukoc.
Mhm.
You know, you needed a Dennis Rodman. You know, what's the other guy's name they had? Just
Yeah, Craig Hodges.
Paxton, Hodges. You know what I'm saying? You
Steve
needed those.
Kerr.
Kerr, you needed those. So sometimes I know the NBA these days is like so superstar driven,
Mhm.
but the Knicks right now, as formulated, they got a pretty good team. You know what I'm saying? They got a pretty good team. You know what I'm saying? I would, if I'm a fan of the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson, that might be the key piece that
That
could
is, I
hurt
mean,
you
defensive anchor.
going down as far as because when you're going against these bigger forwards in the postseason, you know Tatum's and Giannis's and stuff like that. Yeah, you want a solid defender down there. Nothing wrong with Hardenstein, but you know having that dominant force in the middle definitely will be a force coming in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Because
I think the
to
most
me,
important thing,
small ball ain't gonna get it done
right?
Nah.
unless you the damn Warriors.
I'm
That's like
kind
the
of
only
impressed with
outlier.
iHeart though. I ain't gonna lie.
Hmm.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, he's impressive. But like I said, in the playoffs, man, you know, where we got beat with Miami too is like that zone defense and also rebounding. We got killed in the rebounding. You know, guys got to help out. You know, Mitch was there to clean up the.
Big task at hand. What's good, man? What's
But
good?
doesn't but
Appreciate
the
you coming
OG
through, bro.
I
Hit
think
that
does
like and
what
help that
subscribe button for me.
I think
OG
what
does
happened.
help in the rebounding is an aspect of it. So, it kind of, I'm not saying he replaces Mitchell Robinson, but
Mhm.
with now Julius has to get down there, Hartenstein has to get down there, and OG. Now those guys can get down there. They can help out in the rebounding
Yeah,
offensively,
yeah.
defensively. So, come playoff time, I think that helps in that regard. And again, I'm not saying it replaces Mr. Robinson because that's a big loss, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But it definitely helps. Having a guy like OG because now we're not just a small type of a team. We do have some size out there. A guy who's 6'8", 6'9", with a 7-foot wingspan. He can definitely go out there and bang with the bigger guys and help there. So that I think is definitely helps us there.
I think that helps us against like a team like Boston when you
Hmm.
got to push that Porzingis. We now you don't have to have iHeart come out and defend him. You could put OG on him,
Hmm.
and that'll
Hmm.
help a lot. Cause that's what was killing us in those games. Mitch kept coming out. They take Mitch out the paint, and then they were freaking killing us.
Um,
Exactly.
like I said, it's easier said than done, bro. You got to get the boards, man. You got to get them rebounds.
Of course, of
That's
course.
all it is, bro.
Well, actually, I think we've been a top rebounding team this year. I mean, I know it's the regular season, but in order to get to the playoffs, you got to do that now. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And rebounding and defense is one of the big things that gets you through
yep.
in the playoffs. That's why I'm saying that Mitch Robinson might come back to bite the Knicks. Is he done for the year or just?
He's done
I
for a
don't,
year.
I,
Yeah,
I
I think
don't know though, cause coach, like it was kind of confusing to me, right? I don't know if you remember this. They originally said that he was out 6 to 8 weeks, right? Then they say he was out for the year. Then they
Mhm.
asked Thibodeau, and they said we're gonna reevaluate Mitch in 6 to 8 weeks. So I was kind of confused on that. Like, what does that mean? Is he not done for the year, or is he done for the year?
Yeah, I say that's confusing.
yeah,
Yeah,
right. The
Yeah,
six,
if you make a statement like that, you reevaluate.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'll be sometimes in March, right? They'll reevaluate March.
Yeah,
right, right. So
yeah,
like, I mean, if you're gonna reevaluate a player, that must mean that he might have a chance to come back. If you ask me.
yeah.
yeah. No, that's what that means. you reevaluate him to see if he can come back, or worst case scenario, will he be back close to playoff time? So I get it. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It,
I'm thinking they protecting themselves by saying that because the injury might be more serious than trying to lead on, and that's probably why they protect themselves. Say he's out for the year too. So if it comes back and be like, hey, what's going on after 6 to 8 weeks, and be like, nah, he's done.
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah, but the Precious kid though does help in that regard, where
Hmm.
he's a rebounder and he can play a little bit of defense. I mean, I don't know his offensive game. I don't know if it's the same as Mitchell's or if it's a little bit better. So
He
maybe
could shoot. He could step out and shoot threes. From what I've seen, somebody he could step out and shoot threes. I mean,
well,
so he has that.
that's an
Yeah,
advantage right there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact. Because Mitch wasn't shooting three, not
Yeah,
with
No,
us.
no, no. So yeah, if he can step out and hit a three on occasion, then that's good. So
and Mitch wasn't even shooting the floater.
Tudo, appreciate you coming through,
At
Tudo,
all,
man.
at
Tudo,
all.
Appreciate you, man. Happy New Year to you, Tudo.
2 years too though.
Appreciate you, bro. Yeah,
uh,
like I said,
NYG
OG Anunoby.
just a quick update. NYG, your Carolina boys won.
Yeesh. Oh, it's Carolina. Now I'm watching my boys. I'm watching Duke now.
Yeah, I'm watching Duke
Ah,
Syracuse. You
dang
know,
Yeah,
on Duke.
I'm
the
trying to
Duke
stay on
man.
top of that for Coach's Corner a little bit. So
Appreciate that, coach, man. Appreciate the updates. All right, let's switch gears here a little bit. Um, before I do so though, me and coach are this is Heart of the City. So you know what I'm saying? This Heart of the City, and we want to bring something new to you guys for 2024. So something that me and coach have been talking about, and yeah, I was just thinking about this and kind of do a culture segment. You know what I'm saying? A culture segment where we're going to talk about like music, fashion, movies,
Mm-hmm.
um, foods, different things um, involving New York City, involving Heart of the City. So definitely, first segment will be premiering next week. Um, if I bring the trailer up here a little bit later, I'll give you a preview of the trailer of what we got going on, man. But we bringing something new to y'all for
hmm
2024. So definitely stay on the lookout for that, man. Like I said, next week we're gonna be dropping the first episode. It's gonna be
Okay.
dope. You're gonna love it. We're gonna be getting into a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? Like if you grew up in the area, or if you just know about New York culture, if you know about Tim's, if you know about
Cool.
Yankee hats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo, so
Yeah, yeah,
like we're gonna be going through all that, all the pioneers in hip hop, R&B, all that good stuff, man. So that's something we want to bring to y'all new for 2024. I'm gonna try to pull up the trailer here a little bit later and give a preview of that, man. So keep it locked here, man. Stay tuned. Heart of the City, we got y'all covered, man. Bringing
Yeah,
all
y'all got some triple fat goose on there and all that stuff.
yeah.
man, all that good stuff, man. We're gonna be having
Tuskegee Airman
rankings.
jackets.
Yeah, bro. You already know what it is. We're gonna have
With the old
rankings
school
and
hockey
all that.
match, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know. Yup, all black joint. Already know. Yup. Uptowns. One of my favorites. Yup.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, Carl Kanai, you know what I'm saying? Colors, cross colors, all that, man.
oh, now you really going back old school with me too. So
Old school, bro. I got that
uh-huh.
whole thing too, bro.
hmm Exactly. So I mean, I can go back to the old pinstripe Lee jeans back in the '80s. So
Boy, don't say two
Wow,
tone, two
Oh.
tone leaves.
wow.
so again, it's just like he's saying, it's just something that we've been talking about and we bring it to y'all. So
Nah, that's a
it's
dope idea though, because a lot of that, people don't talk about no more. You know what I
hmm
mean? So that and it's a part of our culture, it's a part of New York, and that's something dope to talk about, man.
It's kind of
Absolutely.
crazy. When we was younger, we used to wear big clothes. Now these kids wear small, tight clothes. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
It's
yo,
like,
that's a fact, man. I sit there and I'm watching these kids wearing pants as tight as women wear, and then they got them like, yo, dude, what you doing, man? Like, what's going on out here,
They
man?
don't
This is wild. I'm
understand.
not used to that.
You
But
don't
stuff
understand what you say.
recycles though, because you got to
Yo,
think
pants
the
sagging.
the
Like, what's
the
going on
joint.
here, bro? You got tight pants on, but your pants is sagging. That's crazy.
But the coaches before, the coaches that wore the baggy pants actually wore
Yeah,
tight clothes again.
in the
Back in the
'70s.
'70s, I remember
Yeah,
Rick.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I remember
exactly.
the skit where my man said
yeah.
Dave Chappelle when Charlie Murphy was telling the story, he was like, yeah, he was like back in those days, he was like whoever could dress most like a was the one who got the, you know what I'm saying? So
Hmm. Hmm.
so you had the Jerry curls and the tight leather.
Hmm.
Yeah, you had all that. So it's kind of like circling back around. That's the way I look at it anyway. It's crazy.
It is. No, it is. It is. It
Mm-hmm.
is. So,
Yeah,
you
cool, man. But let's get into these dang on Giants and these Jets. Gonna start off with the Giants because the Jets are
yeah.
irrelevant right now, in my opinion. So
know.
I agree.
I
I
always
agree.
like throwing shots at Jets fans, man, because they came into the
Yeah.
season boosting up. We're going to the Super Bowl, yada yada, right here with the damn Giants are. So shut y'all's
I
mouth.
think I will give them the edge. They did beat us this year, so they
Oh no,
got
Yeah,
nah,
yeah.
nah, 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 nah.
solid,
We gave
man.
them the game, in
We
my
gave him
opinion,
the
but
game.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Gave him the game. But
Yeah,
I will
bro.
say, I
But
will say, I was watching the bowl games yesterday, man. Watching Texas, I was watching that Tavondre Sweat. I was like, man, I would love to pair him with Dexter Lawrence, bro.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Yo,
what?
I saw this tweet on Twitter. This guy talking about he wanted to trade Dexter Lawrence and like 3 first.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah, yeah.
that's
I saw the
crazy.
same damn
for
thing.
who? For
Yo,
who?
bro, I just
Go look
had
at.
I it took me all in my life not to respond to that dude because I'm like, yo, bro, you must be out your mind. This is why I can't talk to some Giant fans, bro, because it's
It,
like, what are you thinking,
He
bro?
said for the
I don't
first
think it
pick.
was the Giants. I don't think it was the Giants fan. I think it was a Bears fan. But his squad reposted it, and
Oh, yeah, okay,
No,
yeah,
and I
it's
even
Giants
said,
fans too. It's
Yeah,
Giants fans too.
"Really?
Mm-hmm.
yo,
Okay."
Yeah.
crazy to me, bro. Like,
Let me
why
show you
you?
something.
Wow,
I be taking receipts for these clowns, man.
That's
yo,
crazy.
bro,
I'm not
I'm like,
giving up
how we gonna trade
for
Dexter
the
Lawrence,
first
bro?
round for a first round for the number one overall draft pick. You want to give up 3 first round draft picks and Dexter Lawrence?
Bro,
That
Are
was
you?
these
crazy.
dudes are willing to sell their soul for a quarterback,
That was
and I
crazy.
literally mean that. So
to move up fourth.
here go one of your top, so-called top Giants content creators.
Who is it?
I don't give a damn if you get mad or not. Fuck them.
Authentic.
Authentic right here. No player on the Giants is off limits for trades, in my opinion. Not a
That dude
single
is
one.
wow, bro. He is wild for that.
Hey, but bro, let me tell you something. You can't give up none of your All-Pro players. Andrew Thomas,
No, they want to
Thank
sell
you.
their
they
soul for a
crazy, bro.
quarterback.
So you're gonna get rid of your whole team and have the quarterback with nobody
Yeah,
around them.
yeah,
Nobody's gonna
yep,
be around the
yep.
quarterback.
But
Just to get rid of Daniel Jones.
listen, don't get me started because anybody who knows me knows I always say the same thing. It starts with the trenches, and if
Yep.
you ain't got no trenches, I don't care what quarterback you have, what linebackers, corner, it don't matter. You can't do
None of
anything
these
without
clowns
trenches.
say.
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
Yeah.
I'm not giving up Dexter. As soon as I heard Dexter
Hell,
Lawrence, Dexter Lawrence.
Yo, that
Yo,
trade
if
didn't make no
you
sense to me. I'm
tell
like,
them
bro,
right
you
now that you would give up Dexter Lawrence for any one of these quarterbacks, these guys will do it. They're so psychologically, it's like a mental block
bro.
for real
I'm
with
right
these
now.
cats.
I could wish I could trade Boogie Basham for a 7th round pick. Give me a 7th round pick for
Thank you,
Boogie.
Man,
thank
I
you.
would trade Boogie Basham for a bag of
I mean,
Fritos,
hold
my
up.
G.
Did we give up a 7th round pick for him? We gave up.
Yes,
Oh,
you
we got
gave us.
That
we
dude
got
is
fleeced on
cheeks.
that deal.
Buffalo
Hmm.
said, "Here, you want him? Here, go right ahead. Give us the 7th round
Oh
draft pick."
man,
Hmm.
Yeah,
this dude slower
Yeah.
than he's slower than Hattie.
But there's Giants fans out here that want to give up the farm
I know.
for the quarterback. So my thing is, we seen the game with the Rams. Tyrod Taylor went out there, threw 300 some yards, whatever. Made some crucial mistakes, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Um, with an interception, fumble snaps, missing Saquon Barkley. But is the QB really the issue with this squad on offense? Is that the major issue?
I
I
think
mean,
I
I
the
don't think so.
major issue.
no. I think
I
I
don't
think
No,
it's
think
I
so.
think the line and the skill position. That's all. The line and the skill position, like a wide receiver one in the line. That's the big thing.
for me, it's always going to be it. To be honest with you, it's not even the offensive line per se directly. It's the development and the coaching of these players on the
Yeah,
offensive line.
coaching
That's the
right.
issue. And I've never been one to harp on other coaches, but Bobby Johnson is not doing it. He's not doing it. He's not coaching these guys up to their full potential. And it's easy for fans to blame Evan Neal, where the kid hasn't even played a full season. He hasn't had enough games to play a full season, and fans are ready to call him a bust or bump him inside
Mm-hmm.
when and Azudu and McKeithen and even look at John Schmitz. Schmitz is in some regards has regressed a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
not saying as much as some of the other players, but his game has lessened. I don't. Maybe some of it is it's a longer season, which I can understand, but still he's been making some crucial mistakes, missing, not picking up stunts. These are things that's coaching.
Mm,
This is
mm,
coaching. So, either we have the talent on the offensive line, and it's not being coached up. But now, if we don't have the talent, then it's not the coaching. But shout out to Bobby Skinner for, his video showing the issues. It,
oh
it's
yeah,
it's
I watched
coaching. It's coaching.
I didn't get to see that video.
Oh no,
Where can
you
I
need to see
find
it.
that
It's about
video at?
yes, you need to
Yeah.
see it. It's about 20 something minutes long or 30 something. You need to see it though. I seen it.
Yes. Yes.
About
He
the
Yeah, I
broke
need
it
to
coaching,
see
down.
that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's my thing in terms of this offense. I mean, there's other key little issues. I'm not going to say there aren't. Injuries also another factor, but it starts with the offensive line for me, and that's the big thing because that sets your running game, that gives you your passing. We're the most sacked team in the league. Some of it is the quarterbacks, but some of it is also the bottom line is we're not blocking and we're not doing what we need to do. We're missing some stunts again this year, different staff. So, I can sit here and go on and on about it. It's the offensive
Yeah.
line for me. Go ahead. You
Yeah,
guys got it.
I agree. I
I
agree.
think I think a lot of part of this is um, coaching. I think a lot of this is coaching. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I know
Mm-hmm.
me and Pat, Luke kind of had a back and forth on this as far as the game
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, where I thought the coaching staff did a decent job there. There was some head scratchers, of course, man, but in the totality of the season, this coaching to me has been inconsistent at best. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just put it like that. Let's just be nice because people like to twist words. They've been very inconsistent.
Mhm.
And to me, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, is it Brian Dable's fault or is it Mike Kafka's fault or is it both of them? Because if Mike Kafka's calling the plays and Brian Dable's seeing things and he's not saying, hey, look, or he's not overriding it or getting in Mike Kafka's ear saying do this, then you're allowing the BS to take place. Now, if he's just out there saying, okay, it's your ship, Kafka, you steer it, I'm gonna be kind of more of a hands-off approach, then I can understand some of the inconsistencies with the offense. Therefore, would lead me to believe that hey, Brian Dable either needs a new coordinator or he needs to take over the play caller himself. I prefer the latter, meaning he take over the play caller himself because you're the one that came in here from Buffalo as this offensive guru that's supposed to be able to develop quarterbacks and with this high flying offense, and we look worse than we looked under Jason Garrett, believe it or not. So to me, that's where we can talk about the offensive line. Yeah, the offensive line been bad, but where's the progression at? Where's the progression? Now that's why people want to say, well, it's the quarterback. Because he doesn't have a quarterback, he can't run this scheme and run that scheme and run that scheme. And then the other side will say, well, it's the offensive line. He doesn't have the offensive line, he can't run this scheme or that scheme or this scheme. The bottom line is you need to do better. Because you were able to do it last year, and you were able to work around this offensive line and different things, injuries, and we had the same problems last year. You were able to work around that. You know what I'm saying? And this year, you just let everything just kind of fell apart. So that's
NYG,
why I kind of pointed at Brian Dable here.
to a degree, I understand where you're going, but there's one big factor that you're not putting into that point. Last year, two key players were not on the injured list, and that's Daniel Jones and that's Andrew Thomas. They played the whole season last year for the most part. So if you're going, we're talking about being inconsistent. You're talking about the coaching. Well, they didn't have some of your key players last year. So if you're going to make that argument, then what about that? Then what about that? Because then you didn't have key.
That's a factor too. My pushback to that would be, okay, they've managed to do so before without Daniel Jones and to a degree Andrew now. And the Andrew Thomas thing, I think, definitely hurts you way more than Daniel Jones, only because Daniel Jones can't perform without Andrew Thomas. They the stats are out there, with his record and his stats with Andrew Thomas and without Andrew Thomas. So I'll give you that side of it. But when we're looking at the totality of it, the Giants' whole offensive philosophy was different last year.
Exactly.
And they had two offensive linemen that's not there, Nick Gates and Feliciano. It looked like they were
arguably you should have. One may think you upgraded if you taken
right.
Smits and the cat Bredesen. So
I think Feliciano was quietly the one that really hurt us the most.
yeah,
was he the center last year, or was like Gates?
Yeah, he was our center.
People hated him because he wasn't the greatest of pass blockers, given the two guards next to him. I mean, who could blame him? But fact of the matter is, when that running game needed to get going, I seen him out there, blowing people up paws off the ball, getting out in space, you know what I'm saying, pulling, making those downfield blocks. That was Feliciano doing that. I'm not seeing that going on right here this year. I think Tyree Phillips is a terrible run blocker. You know what I'm saying? John Michael Smith is okay. He's still learning. Pugh is awful. And Ben Bredesen is average to below average.
He could be a backup.
Thomas is a stud. But outside of that, they don't play Glowinski no more. They play him as a sub, like a six lineman. So that's what I'm saying. It's weird. So when you're looking at all these personnel questions, the more questions I have with this team, the more I point to the coaching staff. We shouldn't have this many goddamn questions. With the squad, nothing is settled at all.
That's a good question. That's a good one, right
but
there.
Again, I mean, I get where you're going. It's just a lot of other things inclusive in that because again, football is different, guys. It really is different. So I mean, that's why football is the ultimate team sport. You need your players out there. Period. It's not like basketball where if you have one superstar. You can make up for a lot of other deficiencies.
What's good? What's good, Bookends?
The book,
Appreciate
and
you, What's up, Miz? Appreciate you, brother.
That's what a lot of average fans try to do. You're trying to make football into basketball where it's about one key player. Football, there's a saying that has always been said with football: you're only as good as your weakest link. Period. And if players are not out there, if key players are not out there, it lessens everything. Last year you said,
But as a
we
coach,
got
do
by.
you make that? Do you make that excuse as a coach? You're always the one that says, "Okay, we don't
No.
got so and so guy, next man up." So I don't,
Yeah,
I don't want Brian Dable and them coming to me as a Giants fan saying, "Hey, well, we couldn't run our offense because so and so was hurt."
no, no,
Motherfucker,
no, no, no.
run
But
your offense.
no, you can't just run your offense, NYG. If
Okay,
you and I are playing both the same position,
you can't make
somebody's a starter.
adjustments.
No, that's my point, NYG. You
Mm,
adjust to the skill set, and if such and such is
okay,
not as skilled as, even though it's the next man up, you have to adjust your whole system or part of your system to a certain extent,
and I
and
felt
and
like
that's
last
the
year they
thing.
did a good job at that. This year they haven't.
How Daniel Jones wasn't out that long last year
Mhm.
because you
I'm
said they
saying
made.
last year, as far as adjustments, think about the second half adjustments they made when they had to come back in a lot of those games. They were doing a
But
good job. They haven't been doing that this year.
yes, they weren't. But what I'm getting at in terms of Daniel Jones and Anthony Andrew Thomas,
Mm,
is Daniel Jones is different. He's much better than the other two quarterbacks. So it's going to limit. That's an adjustment. You have to scale back on some things that you need to do. It's plain and
Yeah.
simple. Tyrod Taylor is not Daniel Jones.
it
He's a
seems
different.
like they do more with Tyrod Taylor than Daniel
It's
Jones,
a
though,
fact,
bro.
and that's what I was asking. That's what
That's
I
why
was
that
wondering
doesn't make
because
no sense to me.
When you say
But
they
they do
asked.
more, what do you in what? Because I don't see. Here's one thing they do not do with Tyrod Taylor. They don't do no quarterback runs.
That's
Uh,
true.
so
Hmm.
that's what I mean by these are different quarterbacks.
Hmm.
It's different.
But
So
go ahead, Kev. I'll
no,
let
go ahead, go
Kev
ahead.
chime in,
Sorry.
and
I
then man
I
cave.
think that's a good one right there because they had asked Brian Dable in one of his interviews about how come they use Tyrod Taylor different than Daniel Jones. And he didn't want to answer that question. He said, I want to wait until the off season to give you that question, that answer.
That
Which I'm like, but bro, that don't make sense because Daniel Jones, you never you never gave Daniel Jones a chance to throw the ball down the field like you gave Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor. Where was all these long passes in the beginning of the
Yep,
season when
seam
when
routes
they
with
could have made
Waller.
plays like that?
Hmm.
but you
Why
Crossing
is
also
it
routes with Hyatt.
like it didn't make sense to me? Like and listen, I like Brian Dable, but that was kind of a question that should have been answered. Like, how
yes.
come you're not you
but you
how
but you
what
also have to understand too, though. I mean, Andrew Thomas missed like 7 games that he didn't play with Daniel Jones. It was Josh Azudu over there. So if you go back and
right?
put Josh Azudu at left tackle, put Evan Neal back at right tackle, put Marcus McKeithen back at right guard, and put him behind Tyrod Taylor. And let's see if he's gonna make them passes downfield. That was the worst offensive line that was blocking, and that's what everybody seems to fail to realize. Everybody think like
Mm,
Daniel Jones had Andrew Thomas all 6, 7 games he was playing. He didn't have him. He only had him for 1 game.
mm,
And
Yeah.
yeah, Josh Azudu over there. You want Josh Azudu being your left tackle, and you want Marcus McKeithen being your right guard. You seen what happened to him? A lot of time he was turned around. He was facing the quarterback on a lot of plays. That's not a good what you call it. And
yeah.
I will
that's why the pressure is coming from all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Because them guys, they know what was going on.
Mm.
now in terms of
It
Dable
was,
and
mhm.
Oh, he must have lost him.
Oh, coach.
Yeah, he just lost him.
He'll be back.
Yeah, so that I thought that was kind of confusing to me because like the way Tyrod Taylor was bombing the ball, like throwing 50-yard touchdown. I'm like, bro, what happened to this in the beginning of the season? Like, yo, we didn't, we wasn't used like I remember we was using Daniel Jones with the RPOs and letting him run and do
That's
we
all
wasn't
I'm
even doing
saying. The,
that.
the the
We
And
play
wasn't even
calling
doing
was
that. Like
the
what
play
happened,
calling was
Papa?
crazy, and
then you have
Yeah.
Ben Bredesen playing center.
That's what I'm saying. Like
like, yo,
it,
we watch all 22 over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mhm.
watching all
word.
22, and I'm like, this ain't the same plays these cats was calling in the beginning of the
No.
season at all.
No. We wasn't using Jalen Hyatt. We
Wasn't
wasn't
using
using
Waller
Wandell Robinson.
at all.
Rondell Robinson wasn't running the ball. What was all that in the beginning of the year, bro? Like what happened?
But I'm crazy
Like
though.
I
You know what
said,
I'm saying? Like they call me a conspiracy theorist and all this other crazy. Look, bro, I'm just saying. I'm just calling it how I see it, bro. You know what I'm saying? With what I
Yeah.
see with my eyes, and we can be all speculative and say, hey, look,
Mm-hmm.
because of
That's
this,
coach.
because of that, because of this, because of that. I expect my coaching staff to step up and
Mm-hmm.
get it done. And
Word.
I can point to so many just questionable decisions, especially at the end of games, and I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Oh my
And that's what I'm
gosh.
And
saying.
then
Like,
I could say a lot of those games down the stretch. Um, we might have made a few mistakes, but I would say the ref played a lot. I don't like to blame refs, but these refs are terrible, man. Like so many questionable calls down the stretch
They
that kind of
don't,
hurt
they
us.
don't, they don't give us those calls because they don't respect us.
Right.
That's the bottom line. They don't, and it's
But they're
crazy.
so
It should be
blatant though.
called, yeah, it
They're
should be
so
called down the
blatant.
middle. It shouldn't matter about whether the refs respect you or not. They should just make the damn call the right call. But
and
Right.
there is something, and you notice about the NBA, Kev. Certain players get them stupid calls because they got the clout in the league. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And the Giants, they stink, and they have stunk for so many years now since the last Super Bowl in what 2012.
Right.
That they don't respect this team. So when you going out
Hmm.
here and especially when you getting opportunities and you still can't score, you know how many times this defense has gotten the Giants the ball and the Giants have
Yeah.
scored 0 points. How
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
turnovers have the defense got the Giants and the Giants haven't turned it into nothing?
That's a
Mm.
fact.
That
That's
is
a
what I'm
fact.
talking about. That's
but
why they don't get some of these calls because they're like, look, y'all stink. You ain't going to score anyway. If we put the ball on
Mm.
the 1 yard line, you still
Mm.
don't score.
Mm. I I
Go
mean,
ahead,
I
coach.
understand. I understand how you're thinking, but referees are not going in there saying we're not going to give you a call because you stink.
They just stupid as hell then, coach. They're
Nah, no,
Like
fucking
like
dumb.
that one. Like
That's
that
the
one
only
play.
other explanation you can give to me. We
mm,
Like
can't
that
say that
one.
they're just missing when you have a replay booth and you still
Yeah.
can't get the fucking call right. Get out of
Yeah.
here.
That's
right,
crazy.
right,
I
right,
ain't
nah,
Like that
buying
one.
it, bro.
Like
I'm
nah.
that
not
one
fucking
play in
buying
that
it. I
like that
understand the
Eagle game.
integrity. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Like that Eagle game, that pass interference was so blatant, bro. Like he held his jersey. He got like, bro, what what's
Well, I'm
going
going to say
on
this.
here,
Well,
man?
see,
Like,
this is the thing that the average fan doesn't really, because during the course of the game, it's just like basketball. You try to see how the officials are going to call the game, and you play it to that. It's the same thing in football. It is. It's just that come late in the game, if they weren't making that call in the first in during the first three quarters, come down to the last few seconds of the game. Um, it's a little bit to say that. Thank you, babe. I really appreciate you. Right. Thank you, dear. Good night. Um, for them to for it's hard. I mean, are they making those calls during the course of the game? That's really what it boils down to. And if they weren't making those interference call or you pulling on the jerseys, it's just that yeah, during the crunch time you want it to be called, but no, if they weren't doing it, it's just like in basketball. You see it in basketball. If they weren't calling it during the course of the game, then you can't expect them to call it during the end of the game.
yeah. I mean, I see it a
Uh,
lot where it's like the guys now, the DBs now are playing the receiver, not the ball no more. They're not even looking back at the ball. They just playing the receiver, and there's like no calls being made. I was like, come on, bro, these guys not even they just taking guys out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And then
Mhm.
I,
and that's a good one that I'm glad you brought that up. You're not even supposed to touch the wide receiver after 5 yards. These guys are grabbing, pushing, all that stuff. Where's the penalty? I mean,
But that goes to the course of the how the game is being called and how aggressive they're allowing players to be. It's just really like that. And a lot of times you don't see it um, during the whole course of the game because you have the TV angle, and the TV angle is not
yeah,
not
that's true.
giving you that look right there. So it's just that during the later part of the game, yeah, they might focus on it, or you caught it then, but or the replay from the TV is showing it. But what about during the course of the whole game? I mean, seriously, are they calling it, or is it happening during the whole course of the game and they're not allowing it? So, how many times have we seen early in the game we're like, oh my gosh, too many flags, too many flags. Well, you know what? They're calling it tight. So that just tells you during the court. Then come crunch time, guess what? You don't see a lot of those calls because the players have adjusted to it. So it goes both ways. I understand what you're saying and where you guys are going. It's just I'm not one to say, oh, they're going to make calls because one team stinks and one team is a better team. Then you know what? Then why even play the game? Because that means the referees already decided who's going to win and who's going to lose just because somebody has a better record than the other.
Well, you ain't
you
gotta say
know,
it. I'm saying it, goddamn it. It's some funky ass shit going on with these referees,
Yeah, that's
and
a
I'ma
fact.
call it out, and I'ma call out the NFL, and I don't give a
NYG,
damn because
I'm
I
go-
will not let my mind trick me into say,
no, no,
well,
no.
they're
It's
Yo,
not.
just, they're just, it's just,
They're
they're
bad.
just
They're
making
they're
mistakes. They
very
don't know what
bad.
they're doing, and
When you see
fire
Tom
these ones
Thibodeau,
then if they
when
so
you
damn
see
bad.
Tom, when you see Tom Thibodeau get up and leave a pregame recap because of the referees, that's serious, bro. Like your man got up and walked
that
out.
that and here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is all sports though. I mean, seriously, think about it. Baseball, you get bad calls on pitches. Basketball, just like you said, football. The officiating with all sports is getting a lot. It's getting harder to officiate and is bad. But you're also getting a lot of athletes who are a lot faster, who are a lot bigger, who are a lot stronger. I mean. I still remember the days where we used to say, "Well, damn, they're not calling this foul for guys on Shaq." But a lot of officials, it's hard to call fouls on him because of how big and strong he is, and he's going up against a guy who's a damn string bean. So I get it. I understand what you're saying. NYG, you're like, well, fire them. Well, then you got to have somebody else to come in that you got to train. And if they're less qualified, you just fire somebody who's more qualified. Then you're bringing in somebody who's less qualified, and guess what's going to happen? You're going to get
I,
more and more bad
I
calls.
could see your point at the little league level, high
No,
school level,
I
even
know what
college
you're going. I
level.
know where you're
But
going.
when you're making billions and trillions of dollars off this sport, there can be something to where you want to see some type of control over the outcome, perhaps.
no. I'm just see if you go
Okay.
that way, then there's no reason for me to ever be involved with that type of a sport. That's
Well,
me. I just can't. I can't because now
Hey,
you're.
look, I'm
You,
saying, I'm saying you can't
I
ignore it. Do I
I
have
can't. I
100%
can't.
proof of this?
I cannot
No.
ignore it. I'm sorry.
But
I will ignore it.
I will not ignore what my eyes tell me and my brain tells me that
I
something
mean,
is wrong.
but
I
I mean,
can't
you could
do it.
you could watch an NFL game, and be like, yo, you be like, they ready to cheat. They want this team to win. They want the Cowboys to win. They want this team to win because you can see the bad calls about to be made. It's like, come on.
It's
Yeah,
obvious,
And that game
bro.
in the
You
Lions
just
game,
can't
that was
see
that
it.
was
I don't
a
know what
bad
to
call.
tell
You
you.
know that dude. You know that
or
dude.
No.
or
Then
or or
all I
or
can
that
say is
one.
this. And I'm not. Look, that's the way you guys
Think
feel.
about why the sports betting is so big right now, bro. The rigging is fucking obvious, bro.
Well, then
I'm not
guess what
just
that means. Get that? What you know? What I need to give up sports and get away from sports. I'm being honest with
I'm
you.
not saying give
No,
up
no,
sports,
no, no,
bro. I'm
no,
just saying
no,
at the
no.
professional level,
I need to give
particularly,
up sports. I need to
that's
give up
there's
following
some
sports.
politics involved. Let's say it like that.
I just need to give up following sports. This is me. I'm just talking about me. I'm not talking about anybody else because of
Hey,
me and
if you
how I
choose to
carry
give up
myself.
sports, that's on you. But you giving up on little leaguers and the people that
No,
are
I'm
playing it
talking about
honestly. I'm
pro
talking
sports.
about at the professional level
But
where there's
NYG,
so
what
much
I'm
money
saying
involved.
is based on what you're saying, like you just said, they're rigging the games. I'm going on that word that you just said. I'm being very literal.
Hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
said they're rigging the games. Well, if they're rigging the games, then I don't go for that. I don't. I don't
Hmm.
tolerate that. I don't go for that. And if that's the way the sport is going, then Ed Gladney, does not need to be associated, call it, or anything around it because I look at it so much differently. Is the officiating bad? Yes. Is the quality where it used to be? No, it's not. It's not where it used to be. But if you're telling me that the NFL, the NBA are purposefully doing things because they're trying to gear because of sports betting, then I don't need to be associated with it. I don't. That's me.
Yo, what was that referee in the NBA?
Donahue, Chief
Said,
Chief
Donahue.
Donahue.
yo, he said he used to him and the referees before the game, they used to make like $20 bets to see who was gonna get the first tech.
Yeah, I remember that, man. I
I
remember
was
that
like, what?
guy.
Yo,
I
that's
remember
crazy.
he tried to call out some other refs, but they was trying to shut it down real quick. They was
Yeah,
like,
they got
he's
this. They got
isolated
it
by
down,
himself.
man. Look here, man. I ain't trying to burst your bubble, coach. But all I'm saying is, it's some funk in the game right now. It's some funk in the
It
game
goes
right
on in
now.
all walk of life. It ain't nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing's gonna be fair. Nothing ever
you
gonna be
you
fair. There's always
you
people
can't
throwing things
ignore it.
behind the scene.
You
You know what I'm
can't
saying?
legitimately tell me this thing is called 100% down the middle 50-50. It's bullshit.
Sorry,
I
that's
can't.
how I see it, bro.
I can't do
Call
it.
me delusional, call me stupid.
We'll
I don't
agree to
care.
disagree on this one,
Yeah,
but
because I can't because if I start to think that way, I don't see this is the thing. If I don't
Mhm.
trust, I don't fuck with it. Excuse my language. And
Hmm.
if I had, that's what I'm getting at.
Well, you
If
gotta
I
like
if I
wrestling. People like
if I
wrestling still.
and wrestling, no, wrestling is entertainment. That's different. I
So is
look at
the
that.
NFL.
No,
It says it on the joint.
Yeah,
Entertainment
sports is
business.
sport. It's sports.
Sports
But
entertainment. It
but
says
at
it.
least with wrestling, there's more like
it's
what's
The
you
wrestling
know
they
scripted.
just
more
tell
like
you it's fake. Yeah, they make
yeah
it out.
yeah
They make
you know
NFL
You
more
make
of
it
got
the
obvious too,
outcome,
but
storylines. You
right?
got everything.
they make it more obvious. You have storylines in the NFL.
I'm
It's always storylines in
listen.
the
I'm gonna just
NFL.
say it like this. I mean, everybody can see. I mean, it just happened just recently with the college football when they left Florida State out and gave it to two one loss teams to get in the final
That
four.
was
You see what I'm
funky.
saying? That was. I
Yeah,
mean,
that was
everybody's been
lost.
talking about that. I mean, that should have never happened. I don't care. I don't care
Nah,
if
that's
Florida
a
State lost
fact.
their best player or not. It should have never happened.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a
It
fact.
never
I
happened.
agree with that.
And
I
from
agree.
watching the games yesterday, it showed Alabama did not deserve to be in there. They didn't deserve to be in there.
But neither did
Neither did
Florida
Texas.
State.
Neither did neither one of them.
Neither did Florida
Shout
State.
out to
Florida State
Michigan,
would have
No,
baby.
got
no, no.
Let's
bounced.
But I
go.
mean, Florida State was an undefeated team. Listen, I understand like Travis, he got hurt and all that stuff, and things like that.
Hmm.
But if that was Alabama and happened to, I'm pretty sure Alabama would have made it though. If they lost their quarterback and all that stuff was happening, they would still have been in there. If they was
That's
undefeated,
true.
I
I
mean, they're a
agree.
Power Five conference. You win a championship, you can't do that. I don't care what I mean, and they know that stuff is wrong. They know it's wrong.
That part, I mean, yeah, I get where you're going because I did debate.
Yeah.
Florida State should have been because it's the Power Five. They're undefeated. They're conference champion
Right.
over a one-loss team in Alabama or Texas. So that's open for debate. But college football,
Or just one of them, not both of them.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
But that's also not saying that what NYG is saying. You're rigging it per se for sports betting. That's
Let
what
me
he's
tell you
getting.
something. But let me tell you something because I do sports betting and stuff like that. And like I said, I don't lost like tickets because like I said by .5 and stuff like this because it happens.
Yeah.
It's
How
like
many
how they
times
land on
you
the
hit on them
points, how they land
parlays?
on the
Them
points,
joints hard to hit, ain't they?
they
I
already know
tried
these
one the
points.
other day. I'm
They
like,
know some of these points in these games and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Listen. I've
they
been playing
set the
doing sports betting for
spreads,
over
bro.
20 years. So I mean, hey, it's gambling. That's all it is. It's 50-50. Either you're gonna win or you're gonna
Hmm.
lose. And that's it. So it's like, hey,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it. Say, hey,
What
I'm gonna
I
keep.
would tell you, coach, is I'm not putting this on the players. I think the players, they go out there, they play, they try to earn a check.
What
They're
Bookend
playing their
said,
asses
wrestling
off.
is in a sport. It's acting,
Hmm.
right?
um, but they, they're out there performing, trying to feed their families. I get it. Where the funk comes in is the officiating and the coaching. That's where the funk comes in.
Yeah.
But you're saying what
And
I'm getting at is this is purposeful, however you want to categorize it in terms of your funkiness. It's being purposeful. That's what it's not just, you're going out, you're playing the game, you lose, you win, whatever happens. The
I
calls
just
are
don't
called.
think people that I don't think these coaches and these referees are that incompetent that they constantly make these egregious mistakes. I don't think that. Now, if you think that's fine. But I
Hey,
don't think they're that stupid to make these egregious mistakes time and time again for us to just sit here and say, well, they just missed this one, guys. Darn it. I don't
and then
believe that.
Okay, then
and
YG,
then and then
okay,
go apologize after. Then they'll go
here,
apologize. Oh, I'm sorry.
here's what I'm going to say to you because I'm going to bring it back to football, to the NFL. Okay,
Let's go.
plain and simple. There's holding on every damn play in the trenches. There's no
They
right.
way
pick
around.
which one they call, don't they? And
No,
when they
no. What
call
I'm
it.
saying, it's not which one do they call. What it is how do you, because what it is when an offensive lineman
Lane
engages with the
Johnson false
defense.
starts every play. They
Mm,
only call it when they want to. We watch these games, Cole. We're like, hey, false started again. Me, you, and Pat, we called. He said, hey, he is again, another false start. And they let it go on and on and on. You mean to tell me the referees don't see this dude false fucking starting? They
or
don't
the
see the damn offensive lineman for the Cowboys dragging Kayvon Thibodeau down by his goddamn collar? And they just, oh, we just missed that one. Well, darn, granted. And this man is sitting here like, hey, he's fucking holding me. And they just,
Okay. Now NYG, go down
because
on the
if that's the
football
case,
field. Go
then
down
we
on
have
the
a
football field.
real issue here
Go down on the
with the
football
NFL.
field. Go down on the football field. Now you want to go there? Go down on the football field. How many offensive linemen are on that offensive line?
5
five.
on a
Five.
normal play.
Usually on the defensive side, how many defenders are coming at the offensive lineman? 4.
Anywhere from
No,
4
no, no, no.
to
No, what usually I'm saying the average is about 4. So that's
4, yeah.
9 guys. How many
Mm-hmm.
sets of eyes officiating eyes are watching the play? Do you know
Was it?
it's only 4 sets of eyes? And then the 2 that are on the sideline, once the ball is snapped, they look at the offensive tackle. That's their responsibility first before they transition if it's a pass downfield.
Okay.
So now you have 4 sets of eyes that are looking at 9 players. You want to tell me you're going to catch every damn call? Tell me that. Tell me how you can sit there and watch 9 guys with your 2 sets of eyes. We have the TV, we have the replays, we have all of this. Down on the field. You know why I'm saying this? I've officiated games. I know how fast it is. It is
Mm,
not easy. You're sitting here saying, "Oh, well, they can't be that incompetent." It's not incompetent. It's where your eyes going from. You start at one point and you go from left to right, depending on where you are, or from the middle to one side or to the other. And these guys that you're talking about, big guys who are moving at extreme speeds.
Mm.
And you're trying to make it seem like the officials, it's so easy for them to do that. I,
I'm
I
not saying it's
challenge
easy.
any of you, I challenge any of y'all to go down on the football field, on the field, and then on top of that, sometimes
Replay coach
hmm,
is a motherfucker. Because I'm gonna tell you, not only does replay allow you to go back and see
yeah.
things that happened before, but replay allows me as a fan to sit here and when they go to the replay, watch the referee look dead at the fucking the ball snap with Michael snapping the ball, John Michael Smith, and call a
His
fucking
face.
a
You see his
penalty.
head. You see
He's
his head.
looking
You don't
dead
see
at
his
him.
head. Okay. You see his head, but you don't know if he's looking to the left or the right.
He must be fucking blind then. Excuse my
Okay.
language.
Okay.
Cause I'm
Okay.
watching
So
him, look at
so
him,
so so
and
when
not and
you
say,
when so when you
beep.
watch the game, you're looking at the TV,
I'm not
and
saying
it's right.
every
No, no, no,
call.
no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. Listen to me. Listen to me. When you're
Mm.
looking at the TV and you have a good view of all, they start right there on the offensive line. You're gonna tell me you could sit there and you could see every offensive lineman what they're doing.
No, you're not gonna be able to see everyone,
Thank you.
but I'm looking at him. He's looking at the player. He's watching the same thing I'm watching.
How
I
do you
see it.
know?
He
That's what
misses
you
it.
think. That what I'm getting at is it looks like it. We just sat it. We just sat down and saw it
Well,
with the
then they
Dallas
need to
game.
change
Dallas.
the way they review
Wait
these
a minute. NYG.
calls
NYG.
because the integrity
NYG.
of their sport is getting destroyed right now. Because
NYG.
I can pick holes
NYG.
in all this shit all
NYG.
day.
NYG. Did we just not see this on the Dallas Detroit game? Where we said he was looking at whatchamacallit who declared, but then everyone was saying, oh no, he was looking at number 70 who was coming in. But and number 68 was right in his face, but he's looking at number 70. But he should have saw number 68 because he was right in front of his face. Did we just
Well,
not see
listen. He should have just sat there and listened to see who's calling themselves because he's looking at both players. He should be like, this player come over to him, and be like, hey,
They can
I'm
only watch one player at one
eligible.
time, then they need to get off the field, bro. Because, bro, you can't
Okay.
make that excuse and then tell me that, look, he can only watch one player at a time. No, they put you out there, and you're supposed to have your head on a swivel, as they say. Now, you can't catch everything. I understand where you're coming from. You can't catch every single thing. But between all those refs that they have out there,
how many
however
referees
many
do
it
they
is,
have in the NFL game, NYG?
how
Is it
many?
6?
4,
It's
5,
seven.
6, 7?
It's seven.
Okay.
It's seven, and then you have one that's down the middle, all the way back. Sometimes he's 30 yards down the field.
Yeah,
And then you
that
have
one.
two that are, I mean, like this is what I'm saying. Like you're saying all of this, and I get it. But you know what? That's part of human error in the game. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to accept it. I understand.
I
But that's
accept
the
human error.
reality.
I just don't accept bullshit.
And I
I mean,
think
that's not bullshit.
You're trying to sell me to
listen,
play the
I
bullshit.
I'm
think
not
it's
trying to
just
sell you bullshit.
Well, the
I'm trying to.
NFL is, not you. My bad.
No,
I didn't mean to
I
speak
don't
on you
know.
like
Know what I'm saying? That I don't think the
that.
NFL is trying to sell me bullshit. Me, I'm talking about Ed Gladney. I don't
Yeah.
because that's just me. I don't see it like that. I don't. I'm sorry.
I think they lied to
I,
us,
I,
but
I think the one thing is like when they look at the replay and they still come back with the wrong call, and I'm like, hey, if it's gonna be the
how
wrong,
does
they,
that
they,
happen?
they, they need to call
Right.
this to buzz in and be like,
What
nah,
the
that's not the right
hell?
call, bro. I mean,
Guys,
they
So
got
you still can't see it? What's the excuse for
that
that?
that's it. I'm not going to
God
debate
damn.
that, but again, you're talking about one in few because you're making it seem like it's every official or every game too. That's
I don't think
that's
it's. I don't. I just think they pick and choose when they want to do this funky
okay.
bro,
shit, man.
what's that official that crew that be calling a lot of penalties? The black guy group.
Yeah, the black
Yeah,
guy
we
with the
was just talking
glasses.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, when they
he
played
calls a
the
lot. He calls a lot
Giants.
of flag, and then the one that
Yeah.
did the Cowboys game, they in hot water right now because they don't miss 2 bad calls in the Chiefs game. Also, that crew, I think they it's something with them. It's like they've been
And
making
that
some
ref
bad
been
calls.
calling bad calls for years, and
Byron
they
Allen, Brian
still
Allen,
hire
whatever.
him and bring him right on back, proving my point again. They don't care. They
But
bring him right
but
on
as far
back.
as
If he's so bad and he's making all these calls, why not fire him? Why not demote him or put him,
Okay,
whatever?
and what do you do to replace him?
they got
Okay,
referees
fine.
waiting,
Get somebody that can see.
don't they have
That's
referees
what
Okay,
you
no,
waiting?
no,
do.
no, 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 no. But see, NYJ, you're saying just get someone who can see. It's still a skill set. It's still you have to train them. That's what I'm getting at.
Train
You
them
can
up. They
fire.
got
Yes, you're
billions of
right.
dollars,
Fire them.
coach. They can train them up.
Okay.
No,
I'm
but
sure they
don't
can.
they got people waiting to come up, like to come up
That's
into
what I thought.
from another league or something to
And
come
they
up to be
still have to.
voted up?
Yes, they still have to go out there and. Oh shit! Ken Bauman passed away. I'm sorry.
Who?
They
Oh
still
yeah,
have
yeah.
to.
That's early.
Yeah, they still have to go out there and perform. It's not, and they're not even out there on a regular basis. They're sitting on the sideline. So I
Mm-hmm.
get what NYG is saying. He's just making it sound like it's so simple that okay, they're bad. You got to fire him and bring someone else up. They still have to get acclimated and
I'm just
go.
putting it in simplistic forms. You're right.
I
I
mean,
don't know the whole process and everything like that. If I had to do a project on this, I would come with some more thorough information. But I'm just basing it off what I'm seeing in my own eyes and what I'm visualizing. And it ain't right, man. It ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Now, sometimes they make the right call. A lot of times, most of the time, they make the right call.
Hmm.
We have to say that because there's so many plays in the game. You know what I'm saying? But it's the egregious calls that, and like Man Cave said, when you go back there and you replay it and you still miss it, Like that to me is a spit in my face to be like,
Okay,
bro,
but I'm gonna say
you
like
don't
this.
give a fuck. You're just
I'm gonna say
lying
like
to
this
us.
too, coach. I'm gonna say like this too, coach, because in college basketball they suspend the referee and they group. The NFL don't do that. The NBA don't do that, but college does that. I don't understand why the NBA don't, NFL don't do it. If college could do it, suspend those
That's why they
guys
don't do
and
it.
get another crew in there. I don't see why
How
they
many
can't
how
do
many
it.
levels do you have with college basketball? You have
I
NIA,
mean,
NAIA. You have Division three,
Mm-hmm.
Division two.
right, right.
So yes, I get where you're going. The NFL does think about that. The NFL and the Major League Baseball can do that
Bookends
because
is right though. One day they gonna get rid of them human refs. It's gonna
Yeah,
be they gonna robots. Bet they don't get it
okay.
wrong.
there's
Hey,
just gonna be a lot of calls.
we're going to our artificial intelligence now. That's a concern too. I mean,
Yeah,
let's be real. I mean, I
said
get where
this
you're
10
going.
years ago.
I get where you're
They said
going.
you're
It's just,
crazy.
I guess, just
Robots are
with
gonna take
me.
over the world. All right.
I guess with me, with all of this, because what I'm getting is it's the the point is that you're making NYG is that they're basically skewing this for entertainment purposes, no matter what, whether it's for betting or just to get people to come in and watch the game. And that's where I have an issue. And if that's the way the sport is going, then I personally just I don't need to be involved with it because I can't trust it. And if I can't, that's me. If I can't trust, I just don't deal with it. I have a hard time dealing with that. I guess
Mm.
that's I've just
No,
always
I
been like
mean
that.
that's
All right,
and
coach,
that's fair.
let me ask you a question though. I mean, because I'm a Duke fan, right? And I know people say back in the day, Duke they used to make calls for Duke to win games, right? I mean, did
Oh
you feel that? I mean, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, because
no,
I'm a Duke fan,
no,
and
no,
listen, no,
no.
they like Duke get so many calls, they go to the free throw line a whole lot more than the other team and all that stuff. You know, I mean, back in the day when Mike Krzyzewski was roaming the sidelines and stuff
Yeah,
like that, and I know a lot of people say that, you know what I'm saying? They be like, well,
Damn, I
Duke
didn't know the
Duke get them calls,
Islanders.
you know what I'm saying?
so did Michael Jordan too, right? I
No,
mean,
I know, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what, like
so
that was the referee. They said the referee they was helping Duke to win some. You know what I'm saying? And that's what
yeah,
people was like they're cheating and stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's just that's just the way people feel and see it, and I get it. I just don't. I just, in all my
Right, of
years,
course.
40 years of dealing with sports, I don't look at it as the officials are are giving one team calls over the other. So I just, do they miss calls? Yeah. Are they bad calls? Yes. Do they
Mhm.
suck sometimes? Yes. Do they impact the game? Yes. But, I mean, are they purposefully doing it for me? No, I don't accept that. I don't think like that. And that's me.
And I just think like when the teams get frustrated, I don't think the NFL and NBA should be finding these teams, and when they rip the referees and stuff like that, when they what I'm saying, and stuff like that, making bad calls that for the outcome of a game. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're frustrated. You know
Like
what I'm saying? I get that.
they can do something
But
about
because I'm
this.
saying the only person that gets fined is the players, not
But
the
they don't.
referees. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
Mhm.
players
That,
get fined for
They
that's
don't.
true.
frustrating
That's
opinion.
true. That's
That's
The
what I'm
crazy.
saying.
referees do get him. The referees do get fined. They don't get fined publicly. I bet
Oh,
y'all didn't know that.
I
Referees,
didn't know that. I didn't know that. I
I
didn't
didn't
know
know
that.
that.
The only
They
thing
yeah,
I
make it public.
The
They
only
need
thing
to
I
make
ever
it
heard was
public.
that they wasn't going to be able to, they mark them to see if they don't do playoff games, and that's all I ever heard. Like, what I'm saying,
no,
like,
well, let's put it like this, okay? Because
Mm-hmm.
doing minor league semi-pro football, we hire officials who, officiated games from
mhm,
college to high school to the NFLs, and they've said it, yeah, some, get demoted, some get fined, some, in certain aspects, some get fired, depending on where it is. That's a foul.
mhm. Yeah, I know,
Um, but
I know.
but again, and these are officials who officiated games at all levels, and this is what they've told me. They do get fined. So again, how much? I don't know. I didn't get into it. I don't ever get into
Right.
somebody's
Slap
pockets.
on the wrist.
You know, yeah, okay.
Slap
I mean,
on the
hey, it might
wrist.
be. It might be. Look, they might get
Don't you
fined
do that no
$20.
more. Don't you
All
call
right.
holding no more.
Yeah.
Don't
So
you
again,
can't
I
be
don't
calling
know.
holding on our Super Bowl favors here now, Mr. Smith. Let me stop. Cause like
So
God
all I got, you know what, this is why to me I have a hard time because if the NFL was doing something like that, don't you think that they would have skewed the Patriots game back when they played us the perfect season? Don't you think that would have been a
Mm.
great storyline?
You want them to win a billion
Or
championships?
they put him in
No,
front of
you just
They
want
Gillespie.
to
had to
be
throw a monkey wrench in there
no,
sooner or later. You
and
can't let them.
see
That
now
makes it
NYC,
real
you can't
obvious
you
if they winning it
no
every season.
no 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 no
Shit.
no. See, but see now you can't come at me now you can't feed me BS, man, because that's what you're doing, because you just said that they're for entertainment purposes they're skewing it. Well, that's the perfect storyline right there.
No, the
But
perfect
now all of a sudden,
storyline
oh,
is
you got
the David taking down Goliath. People
Well,
love
well,
those underdog stories too.
I'm
And
gonna
you know
ask
how
you.
many people made money off that
no,
Giants Super Bowl by
no,
betting on the
because
Giants?
don't no. Yes, I understand that, but what I'm getting at is
Bro,
you had the storyline competing against with
what?
the Miami Dolphins, who are the only undefeated
I
team
didn't
in
say it was
NFL.
about storylines, coach. I said it's about money.
But you
I
said
never
So
said it's about
you,
storylines. It's about
you did
money.
also talk. We did talk about storylines too.
I mean, that plays a
so so
part in
so
it.
so,
I'm just
so let me
saying
ask you.
it's
Let me ask you
it's
something.
not that's
In
not
that
the end
Super
all be
Bowl,
all. It's not
but
about the
in that Super
storylines. It's
Bowl,
about the
was
money.
there any bad calls that was an egregious call? There wasn't really. I don't remember an egregious call now. If it was like a couple of egregious calls, like oh man,
They
we
said
got
the
cheated.
Eli Manning call. They should have called him,
I mean, he was in the grass or
down.
The,
something like that.
Yeah.
yeah, the Eli
So
Manning. There are people who state till this day that David, what you call his helmet catch, the ball touched the ground.
yeah,
You
shit
know,
was
That's a
nasty,
lie.
bro.
That's a
Yeah,
lie.
no,
I know,
no,
man.
no, no. Listen.
I
We
got the
say
picture.
that's
I
not
got the
true.
picture signed by
Yes,
David Tyree. I got the picture
and
signed
there are
by
those
David
who will
Tyree.
say, "Oh no, it did touch the ground." And again, there are those who say that was a bad call. The referees missed it. What I'm getting at is there are arguments to be made in terms of
Mm-hmm.
that game. So
Mhm.
And
again, it can go both ways. So I
it
That's
mean,
could,
true.
you could either say, you could even say, okay, so that my get back to that will be, oh well, if you think the ball, how about him being harassed before the ball even got to him? That was like a stupid
yeah,
pass interference by
yeah,
Harrison.
yes. That's my
So
point. So,
they just let them play. Let them play. Let them play. If you ain't gonna
Word.
one, just
Hmm.
let them play.
but that's my
And that's my
point too.
thing. That's my thing. They should just let the players play more. Just let them play. You know, like let's redo this whole flag shit. Can we put some better parameters in place? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But for you to for every game to weigh on an official, damn near every NFL game weighs on one of these calls at the end of the game. And it makes it bullshit for me, man. It makes
But
it hard to watch sometimes. Like let the guys play, especially the ticky tack calls. Now an obvious call,
Yeah, the obvious calls got to
okay.
be paid.
But those are the ones they miss 9 times out of 10, the obvious ones. And they
Shoot.
call the ticky tack calls. That's why it's goofy to me.
Yeah,
But
mm,
I'll leave it at
I
that.
know, man. I know, bro.
yeah, I know. We going somewhere else. I'm sorry.
But
I mean, it was
All
a
right,
good
well,
let's
conversation. It was a good debate, good conversation. I really appreciate it. But yeah, let's get back on
Yeah,
track.
that
of
was a
course,
dope.
man.
That
Of
was a
course,
dope
man.
debate, actually.
Yeah, man. We always trying to get y'all to fire here.
I
All
mean, like,
right.
so we just think about this game against the Eagles, this last game, man. How you feel about it? You know what I'm saying? At
I want to win.
MetLife.
I want to win. I'm sorry. I know
Yeah,
that
I
those.
definitely want to win this game.
I
No,
know
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
I, no, I've had those who are saying, "Oh no, we could probably go up to number 2 if we lose and this team win." Nah, man. I'm just about winning. I want us to win, and then wherever we fall with the draft, we fall with the draft. I mean that's
I'll
me.
be honest with you. Like these last three games were pretty winnable.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah. And
Like we were in all these
And if we
games.
win
Like
these games,
defensively,
we are in the fight for the playoffs. Think about
yeah,
yes.
it. That's
My
what
whole
yes.
hurts.
That's my whole point. NYG knows how I feel about that. Is I'm a strong, tanking and all. No, bro. I
I agree.
that's not my DNA. I don't root for losing. I just can't.
I don't root for losing either. I call out bullshit. That's what I do. That's why I'm on popular
Mhm.
opinion sports. But my philosophy is with you, coach. I want to win. That's why
Yes,
I'm a fan. I want to win. I don't like this stuff. I don't like talking about it. I don't like
especially
speculating about the team losing on purpose. I don't like to talk like this, but I'm a person that's gonna call it like I see it, pretty much. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
like
It
that.
doesn't mean that's my opinion or that's just how I feel. Like with the whole Daniel Jones thing, people think I'm just
Right.
big Daniel Jones lover or I want Daniel Jones to be the quarterback forever. No, I'm just calling it
Mm-mm.
like I see it. They gave this man a contract, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He owed like
You know
sixty
what I
something
you
million
know you
dollars.
know you know when it comes to New York fans in general, this is just in general. I'm talking about all fan bases in New York, Yankees,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Giants, man. They are very ungrateful, bro.
Trust
Like
me.
this could
Trust
be a
me.
very ungrateful, harsh fan base, and sometimes it could be unfair. Most times it could be unfair because sometimes it just be like, bro, you just talk, you just saying things just to say things.
Mm,
You know, or you want to force a trade just to force a trade, or you want to like, bro, or sign a player just to sign them. Meanwhile, they don't even fit our system. Like some New Yorkers, bro, like I don't know if they not thinking right. They, what it is, but I hate to say it, but sometimes our fan base could be pretty delusional.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but you, I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, I mean, you look at this RJ Barrett trade. There's a lot of fans that's bashing RJ Barrett on his way out. It's like, bro, I mean, man ain't do nothing, boy ain't do nothing. It's like they bashing him. I was like, yo, appreciate the things that he did when he was here. You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, he ain't never
Right,
do this. He ain't never reached his
right.
ceiling. He's this and that. I was like, bro, just let him go. They trade him to his team and be done with it. But just like you blaming him for all the stuff that happened, it's like, bro, you can't do that, man.
Yeah, yeah, like the Daniel Jones,
Of course,
unfortunately.
from day
If
one.
you if we could go back as to me as a fan, I think the Giants failed him.
Of
Mm-hmm.
I think
course,
the Giants failed him
yeah.
miserably. I will sit down and debate with anybody. I don't care who it is.
they
You
don't want to hear
can't
that.
tell me
They don't want to hear that.
you
They don't
can't
want to hear
yeah,
that.
you can't tell me that this organization from day one, from when Dave Gettleman drafted him till now, he's been failed. But they'll sit there and blame him for every single
Mm-hmm.
thing possible. I
Man,
mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
and I'm
He's
gonna tell
getting
you what. I'm gonna tell
blamed
you like
now.
this.
He's
I'm gonna tell
hurt.
you this.
He ain't
He
even
came to the
playing.
he came into the most
Man.
dysfunctional, incompetent front office than any of these other quarterbacks. But nobody want to talk
That's a
about that.
fact.
They'll talk
That's a
about
fact.
Justin Herbert has a bad coach. I was like, well, has Justin Herbert had the coaches that Daniel Jones had in New York?
Oh my
Speak,
goodness.
speak on
They
it.
don't want to talk about
Has
that.
Justin Herbert had the same offensive line that Daniel Jones has had?
Yeah, Justin, and
No.
he's been in the same system ever since he came in the league.
Right.
And how
He's
many
had
playoff
weapons to
wins
throw the
Justin
ball
Herbert
to.
got?
He's had weapons to throw the balls to.
Nah, they don't want to hear
We've
that though.
never
They don't want to hear that
we've
though.
never had that. We've never
But
had that. You
but
know,
again, those are fans who are, they have an agenda. 9 times out of 10, they have an agenda,
Of course,
and
of course.
no matter what it is, and they're just trying to,
Man, he
and
got
and,
booed
and
at
you
a
know what?
Yankee
We
game.
all, to a
He get
certain
booed at a
extent,
game from another sport. That's New York for you right there.
Yeah,
Like
man.
you
They
go
just
to a whole different sport and a whole different team and get booed. Like, dang, what I do to Yankees fans?
and I'm gonna tell you, well, I'm gonna tell
yo,
you where it
like
stem, I'm gonna tell you
what?
where it stemmed from. It stemmed from them because they wanted Dwayne Haskins, and that's why they was booing.
hmm
They wanted Dwayne Haskins, and like I said, rest his soul and
Yeah.
all that
And,
stuff
and
is like,
and
yo,
and
Dwayne
may he
Haskins,
rest in peace. And may
right?
he rest in peace, right? But uh, the better quarterback. I mean, I think we drafted the better quarterback. I in my opinion, you know,
Yep.
um,
Absolutely.
Well,
I
well,
think that Daniel Jones showed you that if you could give him an above average offensive line with some decent players around him, he could win us a playoff game. So just imagine if you build a real team, give him some real wide receivers that can actually catch the ball routes. You know, give him a actual offensive line that can actually protect him. And I really think we having a different conversation here.
well, I'm gonna tell you
I'm
like
not
this,
gonna say he's the top quarterback in the league. I'm
right?
not gonna say that, but I
Right.
will
but
say we'll be having a different conversation here.
I'll say that, and this is what they get wrong because they looked at Dwayne Haskins, what he did at Ohio State. He threw for 50 touchdowns, but you also have to realize Dwayne Haskins was playing with all Americans all around him. He had all day to look around and throw the ball.
Fact,
He had
mm,
20, like
fact,
10, 20 seconds to throw the ball. He didn't have to process it that fast. He comes into the NFL, he's going to a bad team, and he has to process it real fast, and he couldn't. And that's what the difference they don't realize. When you play at these Power 5 schools, is like you have all day to throw the ball because you got all Americans at every position around you. Majority, you got the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? So you have all day to
Well,
throw the ball.
and I'm glad you went there because this is my argument with Caleb Williams.
Yep.
Because everyone
Yeah,
talks about
good point,
Caleb.
Coach.
They
Thank
talk
you.
about Caleb Williams, and well, look what he did. Last year. Well, last year he had Addison. He had one of the elite receivers. He doesn't have that this year. He's supposed to be a top playmaker, and he's supposed to make the team elite. Well, he hasn't this year. He hasn't, and it's considered a major disappointment this year at SC because they didn't live up to the expectations that was set forth. But you're expecting this kid to come into New York and elevate this team, and it's all about the quarterback, and the quarterback is the one that can make this team so much better. No, it's not. It's a team
I feel
sport.
sorry for the next quarterback of the New York Giants,
Oh
bro.
my
Because
God. I say the same
it's
thing.
gonna
I
be
was telling my
so
boy,
much
me
pressure.
and my
Oof,
boy this morning
oof.
was having a heavy debate on my balcony. And I'm telling him, bro, if you really want a successful quarterback on the New York Giants, you're gonna have to build the offensive line. If I'm having the fifth pick in the in the draft, I'm drafting a guard or a tackle again. Like I'm doing that. I'm doing that.
Unfortunately, there's no guards that rated that high. So what I actually do, to be honest with you, me personally, is if I can, I'm trading back. Now, if I'm trading back, I'm also getting a first round draft pick next year. Because you can do that. Chicago already showed you can do that, and look
Mhm.
what they have. So you can get you a first round draft pick next year. You can also get you some draft capital, whatever it is, and maybe you drop down to, maybe you drop down to 8, 10, somewhere in that range. Now there is a guard out of, well, offensive lineman, depending on where he ends up in the final rankings. But what's his name? He plays for Washington. He plays actually tackle, but
I
he
know who
can
you're
play
talking about.
guard.
Troy Fatano.
Yeah,
Fatano.
for Tano. You can put him
He
at
played
guard.
well yesterday too.
They got.
Yes,
I
he
think they got him
did.
in the second round, top of the second round. I think they got him.
Yeah.
And we got
No,
two second round picks this
I
year. We
thought I
got
thought he
two.
was up into the first. Well, I
Oh,
saw on PlayStation.
he might have went up in there, but another guard is Cooper BB2 from K State.
Yeah, and that
But
was
you
my
gotta
other
think
guard.
too, coach. The quarterbacks, if they get pushed up, that means the linemen get pushed down.
Lines are
So
going to get
he
pushed
might,
down.
yeah, he might end up in the back end of the first, second round.
Let me say this:
And
a
I'll be
bookend.
honest with you,
I saw
Coach.
your thing. I see your thing with Michael Penix. I think the thing that's going to scare teams in Michael Penix in the first round, the first rounds, is that injury history. Man, he already got 2 ACL tears, and bro, listen, I like Michael Penix, but it's like if he has another
Yo, I
ACL, it's
said
like
this,
that's a short shelf life.
man cave.
Yeah,
I
that's a
said
fact.
this. I said this on
I mean, they already crying
I
about
said
Daniel
this on
Jones with
Twitter.
an ACL.
I said this on Twitter. If you want Michael Penix, go get Fatanu. You got a first. You got 2 seconds.
Yeah,
So I don't see either one of them going top 15. So if
yeah.
you take and you trade back, like Coach said, and you want to just get the quarterback, get the 5th-year option, first round, I get it. I'm reasonable. Cop the quarterback, take that second round pick, and if you feel like you need to trade up to get Fatanu, go get Fatanu. Now you got your quarterback, and you got some protection around him, because I think that dude's gonna be good whether you put him at right tackle or guard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Penix is a good quarterback, but it's like, bro, he's gonna be running for his life in the NFL. You go to a bad team, man. College, yeah, you can run for your life a little bit, but the NFL, these
But if
guys
you
are like
have
bro.
Andrew
Yeah, you
Thomas,
getting chased down by defensive tackles and getting caught too.
if you have Andrew Thomas and you have Fatanu, and if you can do something with Neil at guard, and you got Smits,
I'm moving guard.
now you got a decent line that should be able to give your quarterback more than 2 seconds.
Right. I mean, and don't get me
Hopefully.
wrong. I like Penix, but it's like you gotta look at this. Like if they invest in this guy and he gets injured, it's like that's a short, and they gotta go look for another quarterback again.
Anybody can get
Well,
injured. Caleb Williams
right.
can come in there and get his neck broke
Right.
with his 6'1", 100.
I mean, if they get
pound.
Penix, I'm good with it.
Jaden Daniels,
good,
he's
bro.
light as a feather. He can go in there and get his neck cracked.
So let's say
what I'm saying?
what if Marvin
So-
Harrison Jr. lands to us at 5? Do you
I'm
grab
taking
him?
him.
I'm taking him
taking
and
him.
running. I'm running up to the
I'm
podium.
right.
I'm taking him, bro. I
I'm
don't give a
taking
damn
him.
what
Eyes
these
closed.
fucking
I'm gonna. Here's my unpopular opinion. Okay,
I know coach ain't
It's a popular opinion.
if somebody
hit
comes
that
up
like
to,
button.
if somebody comes up and they're offering me, 2 first rounds, a second round, and a third rounder,
Oh, I'm doing that.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
doing that. I'm doing
I'm
that. I'm doing that.
sorry, because
So,
I can
so
still get you got neighbors, you got Rome. I mean, there you got
Yeah. I'm not
Xavier.
chasing no position. Pause. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
so
saying? But
that's
I
what I'm
just think
saying. There's
a lot of good
receivers.
receivers in this draft, though.
Yes, there's
it's a
plenty.
couple. But you know what I also think? I think they're gonna fly off the board.
Well,
Because
that's every.
a lot of these teams that have good lines, they looking for receiver help. You know what I'm
Well, yeah,
saying?
you can't
Like
can't.
Kansas City,
Yeah,
yeah,
Oh,
like Buffalo,
that other dude was like
teams
he was
like
a
that.
first round pick going into the sort of college season, and like by the end of the season, he's like in the second round now. The other receiver, Ohio State, Abuka.
And Buka,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
Bilka. Yeah.
yeah. Last year, then he was like a top
I'm gonna
10 pick
tell
or
you,
something like that.
I'm
He's
gonna
going
tell
to the
you,
second round.
I'm gonna tell you who I wouldn't mind taking a shot on. That's a man from LSU, not neighbors, but the other boy,
Brian
Brian
Robinson,
Thomas.
Brian
Right.
Robinson,
Brian Thomas, man, that dude be balling, bro. Like
Yeah.
Robinson. He's good.
he's
You
out there
also have
getting it done.
what you would call it from Oregon too, so you don't sleep on him.
Franklin,
Yeah.
Franklin,
Yeah. Troy Franklin, yep. True.
Rome
So
Odonze from Washington.
yeah.
Adunze, yep.
So that point being
Pope, the
is
other guy, he's pretty good too. Jalen Pope, the
yeah.
other
Oh yeah,
receiver from
Oh
Washington,
yeah,
yeah.
he's pretty good. Yeah,
So
that's it.
that but see, and we even forgot about Coleman too from Florida State.
Keon
Keon
Coleman, yeah.
Coleman. Yeah,
So if you look at this, what I'm getting at is yes, what you call it is beautiful, but if somebody because of the holes this team has, it's like what if somebody's offering me more picks you know, and I could fill other holes, and I could still get a receiver later in the draft. I might give up on what you call it, and I get it, and
bookend. I got you, bro. I understand, bro.
I understand Marvin Harrison Jr. In the thought about him, but you know what?
I, I'm
It's still a
saying they
crapshoot.
I'm saying they gotta get a QB. Only reason they gotta get a
Mm.
QB is
Yeah,
because you gotta protect yourself from Daniel Jones and this injury thing.
yeah. I
So no
agree
matter
too.
what you think about his skill set, the fact of the matter is he's been injured damn near every season he's been playing at some point. So you have to take that into consideration.
Man, especially the neck
And
injury, especially the neck
and
Oh,
injury.
and don't forget
and
his
yeah,
contract too. I
and
forgot
then
about his
and
contract.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, he got to be
the
hit this year. He got
contract
to be
too.
hit this year.
But
No,
you
no,
got to
no.
take
What I'm getting at is with his contract. If he's injured, I forgot what it is. If he's injured by the end of the season, a $25 million kicker kicks in for
kicks in.
25.
Yeah, so it's gonna
Yeah.
be more money on your cap.
Listen, if we can
So
give, I'm with you. I mean, if we can get a quarterback in the second round or the first round, whatever they want to do,
and that's
whatever
my
it's
thing
up to
though.
them. It's up to what they want to do.
I'm with you, man, Cave. I don't think the Giants need to be reaching for a quarterback.
Mm-mm.
Right.
And that's where me and a lot of these fans are gonna disagree at, and that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like this. I'm playing this draft as I'm trying to get talent. I'm trying to
Exactly.
get difference makers. You know what I'm saying? Now, people say the quarterback it can be a different maker. I agree. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, your quarterback can be a difference maker on there, but you have to weigh the pros and cons. Is he a difference maker that's worth a top 5 pick? Or can I get a better player at another position that's just a better football player that can have more of an impact on my team than said quarterback who might have to have a line, bunch of
Mm-hmm.
receivers, and everything around him, especially coming into your first season. You know what I'm saying? How many rookies we see it here and there, but a lot of these rookies when they showing you these highlights on ESPN, they not showing you these games that they struggling in. They're not showing you the struggles that the learning curve that some of these rookies are going through. You know, like C.J. Stroud, like Bryce Young
Bryce
going
Young.
through, like Anthony Richardson was going through. You know what I'm saying? Like Trevor Lawrence went through. Shit, he's still going through it. Too, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they're not showing you all that. They're just showing you, hey, look, rookie threw 60-yard touchdown, threw for 300 yards, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
They not showing you the pass he missed, the times he held the ball too long. You know what I'm saying? The times he turned it over. You're not showing you all that. So a rookie's always gonna have to go on a learning curve, regardless. But you can have a receiver like Marvin Harrison Jr. and come in from day one and boom, make that much of a spark on your offense.
He helps
Or
me.
you can,
He helps
have a lineman come in and boom.
Right.
You know, open up your run game. Now you need the Giants need to be able to run the ball, and I'm sick of this. Oh, we got to be this passing. We need to be able to run the damn ball.
And like what people can't see is like if you get a number one wide receiver like a Marvin Harrison, now teams gonna have to respect that. They can't just be like, you know, if we ain't looking at we just gonna come in and blitz you every down.
Can't just key in on Barkley and on your quarterback.
That's gonna take away from the offensive line. Like, you know, they ain't gonna have to worry about too much of that. It's like now they gotta worry about somebody else. They got weapons. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. I get more weapons on your team, man.
Mm-hmm.
My thing this year is do you give Saquon the money he wants? I think that's gonna be key this offseason as well. And I'm gonna be honest with you,
Kev.
bro.
Go ahead.
I'll be honest with you, man. Like at this point, as much as I love Saquon, man, I'm ready to move on, bro.
I'm going to say this about Saquon, okay, in terms of do you give him a contract? It depends on the money. I can give him the 2 year with a team option for the third year. I mean, you don't want to push it, but now it's the per year average. You know, now do you front load it and say, okay, well, you know what, Saquon, we'll give you 15 on average. That's 30 guaranteed. 15 average, and say we'll give you 24 guaranteed, and with an incentive laid in the rest of the what you call it, and then the last year, let's just say it's, even if you backload it and say, the average comes out to be 15, but the back end is where you have the most your money, but the front end you give them 24. I'm fine with that because the guarantee says he's getting 12. Because if you say it's 24 over 2 years, then that's 12. And what is he getting right now? He's getting about 11, which is going to push him up because of the average. I mean, like if you franchise tag him, he's going up to 12 change. So guess what? That's 24 right there over 2 years, right there. That's just what I just did to him. Am I going to put incentives in there so he can get some extra money? Yes, but on the back end, make it a team friendly. Now make it seem like it's averaging out to be about 15, so it's about a 45 years over 3 years. Yeah, everyone's going to look at like, are you crazy? But realistically, I'm giving them a 2 years, 24 guaranteed.
Yeah, sadly, like I said, I know people want to get rid of Saquon. You have to bring him back, bro. You don't have an offensive line. If you had a great offensive line, that's different, but your offensive line is terrible, bro. You're going to get your quarterback killed. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a running back there that they respect.
The one thing I will say that NYG knows they don't use Saquon right at times.
That's
For
another
example,
thing. That's another thing. That's
They
another
got to fix
thing.
that line, though.
You got 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, and you're going spread, and you're putting Saquon on the outside. You're taking away your most dangerous weapon out of the backfield to force the defense.
Run this dude like Brandon freaking Jacobs, bro. Like it's right in the teeth of the defense, bro. This dude is a guy that is elusive, and his best attribute is making people miss in open space. But you don't give him the open space to do that because you run him straight into the teeth of the defense, and we can't pick up 3rd and short for shit. So my unpopular opinion would be that if I'm bringing back Saquon, it's going to be on my terms. If he want this 13 million, and I'm going to go out. Forget these Eric Grays and Gary Brightwells. If you want to keep one of them for special teams, it'd be Brightwell to me because Eric Gray can't catch back there. So give me a running back that's going to hit the hole.
Allen
Pause.
or you know me, me and Pat talked about it. Allen from Wisconsin or Estimate Aldridge from Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. Cause I can't have my running back there tap dancing like Gregory Hines.
Yeah.
Like, yo, bro, hit the hole, get these 2 yards, and let's keep these chains moving. You're always trying to look for the
Exactly.
big play, and you end up getting
Exactly.
tackled for loss.
Yeah,
Yep.
like
All
I
the
said,
goddamn time.
I just want to see how they're going to attack the free agency with the offensive line. We got to attack this offensive line this season. That's got to be a priority.
Another thing about Saquon Barkley, he dropped too many goddamn passes.
Right.
Yeah, that
And you
last-
got
saying
hurt
this
again.
too.
And you got hurt again. And you got hurt again this year.
That too.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as his game is, your hands got to get better. Because if we're going to use you like my man said, like CMC, you got to be able to catch the ball like CMC.
That's a fact.
That's fair.
You know, if you want that money and you want to get used like CMC and you get tired of, trying to grind out these tough yards, okay, we're going to bring in another running back, Saquon. We're going to give you your money. We're going to lower your touches, and we're going to put you out wide and use you, more like a CMC Alvin Kamara type role. Okay, now we cooking.
You know what I want to see with Saquon? I want to see, like, if we could finally get a good line, man, for him to run behind or something like that. That would be the best thing if we could get a good line like that. Man.
He got to stop tap
Pass
dancing,
block
though,
him.
God damn it. He got to stop the tap dancing. Like, you pity-patting. Like, go run.
Like, you got all the big-ass legs for no reason, bro. You're not using them the way you should.
Vision
That
is
was Brandon
questionable,
Jacobs.
bro.
Brandon
Yeah.
Jacobs would be trucking people.
Yeah,
Jacobs is different. I mean, Jacobs was 6'5", 6'4", 200
And what they get on him for at the end of his career, being a tiptoe burglar. That was his
Yeah,
nickname, the tiptoe
exactly.
burglar, because he wouldn't,
Yup.
he didn't want to
yeah.
take the ball and run
Brandon
with it.
Jacobs ran behind a great line. The Giants had a better offensive line back then when Brandon had Brandon
Absolutely.
Jacobs.
Mhm.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Way better. So, Saquon Barkley, love him to death. Got his jersey or whatever, man. But
you're right.
I need a running back, bro. Scat back shit, man. Yeah, that's useful. But we in the NFC East. We got to pick up third and short, bro, consistently.
Yeah.
We can't do that. And a lot of it is on the line too. But yeah, it is a team game. Running back, do your job. Put tap dancing back
That's
there.
fair.
You want to get paid. You want to get paid like a top tier running back, then act like a top tier running back, bro. Play
Facts.
like one.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even think Saquon Barkley got 1,000 yards this year. On the
No,
ground.
Mm-hmm.
no, no way near it.
You know what I'm saying? So
And
I
you
need
talked
more-
a
I need
lot
that more
in the
production.
off season. You went on
Yeah.
a podcast. You was
Yeah.
running your mouth. Like, and you didn't play like you didn't play nowhere near like the money maker. Like you wanted to be this big time money
He
maker.
had
You
some
didn't play like that.
egregious mistakes in some big time games this year. Fumbles,
Ooh.
2 fumbles in the games before, drop passes. Like he
And-
has
and
not
pretty
shown
much
up in the clutch.
Pretty much a no show in these big games against Dallas, Philly. Like what's going on,
Mhm.
bro? Like these are games that we gotta win, and
But I mean, he's not the only one. It's the whole team. It's just been
No,
a
that's a
disappointing
fact.
season all
No,
around.
absolutely. But
I mean,
when
everybody
we evaluate individual performances as an individual, taking his individual performance is which is what I'm evaluating. He
Yeah, that's
has
what
not performed well, in my opinion.
nope,
That's a
I
fair
agree.
argument.
I agree.
Now, can the line and all that quarterback have
better?
boosted up his numbers? Yes.
Yeah.
And made him perform a little bit better? Yes. But from a player that we're talking about paying a lot of money to, now if he was Gary Brightwell, we wouldn't be talking about this. Just cut his ass. It's over. But
Right.
this is Saquon Barkley. We expect Saquon Barkley to be Saquon Barkley. He hasn't got it done this year.
We gonna get our answer in free agency. What they do, if they're gonna bring him back or they're gonna attack the offensive line. We'll see first. That'll tell us everything what they do in free
Something
agency.
tells me they don't want a running back to be the focal point of their offense, though.
And there was a few players. Right? There was a few running backs this past off season that got paid that put up more or less better numbers than him, scored more touchdowns than him, and took less money than him.
You see right there, he's close to 1,000. He got 916. He close to 1,000, and that's missing games with a bad line, with a bad team this year.
Yeah.
Pelicans win.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, that was Spencer Dinwiddie, he is straight trash.
He is
straight trash. 20 minutes, 0 points, bro. That's terrible.
I can't.
Wow.
I cannot get him.
I gotta say though.
Enough, I really can't.
I gotta say though, and I said it before the season. I was talking to my man Mike, and I was saying, man, the players, you got some good pieces there, but the bad piece is the coach. I've never been sold on Jack Vaughn.
He's terrible.
I've never been sold on him at all. He gets this thing because he was he was an assistant coach in San Antonio, whatever. And bro, the dude is
Nets
trash.
fans tried to sell me on Jack Vaughn, and I was on the fence with it the whole time. But I'm like, let's give him a chance. Let's give him a chance. No, I'm already done. I'm done with him.
Yo, trash. Like I've had somebody be like, oh yeah, he's the best coach in New York. Trash. I take Tommy P over him any day of the week.
Tom Thibodeau ain't a bad coach.
Who you want as a coach?
He's not a bad coach, man. Look, I want a coach.
Kenny Atkinson, right? You had Kenny Atkinson, right? You let him go for.
He should have been the coach. Yeah,
they
got rid of him because of Kevin Durant.
You know what happened to Kenny Atkinson? You know what happened to Kenny Atkinson? I'm gonna tell you what happened. He's not a yes man.
Right.
He's not gonna be like okay, KD, I'm gonna do that. Okay, right. James, I'm not gonna no. You're gonna do what I say. You don't like it, goodbye.
Look at them fools, right?
He was building them the right way. And stuff, and then Kyrie and them came and got him out of there
and tore it up.
He actually had Dinwiddie playing at a decent level.
Yeah, had him coming off the bench in a 6-man role, which is where he should be. He's not a starter. Exactly. Jack Vaughn got him starting out there like he's goddamn Jalen Brunson running the offense. This dude is trash, bro. I've been saying this, man. He's inconsistent with his shot. He makes egregious mistakes, especially in the clutch, turnovers. I mean, he takes bad shots at times. I'm like, what are you shooting for?
They need to be playing him like how they played him in Dallas.
Yeah, just somebody to come off your bench and give you a spark, not somebody that's going to be running my offense.
Right.
This draft don't look like the top point guards. I don't see like the top point guards. It's like big man is like the top of the draft.
I don't even know if we got a draft pick, bro. That's how bad it is, man.
I think y'all got a pick. Y'all got a draft.
I thought they was in like 2025, 26 though.
KD, did Kyrie get you some draft picks too? I think y'all got some draft picks. Yeah, I have to look on there. I think y'all got some draft picks.
I don't think we got a draft pick this coming up year.
Some draft picks back.
I will say that was a big mistake trading that first round pick that y'all got from Philly, which was a top 8 pick, for Royce O'Neal. I thought that was terrible.
Royce O'Neal, right? You getting these
the role player? That's a role player.
You traded a first round pick for a role player. Sean Marks needs to be fired, bro.
I've been saying Sean. I've been had my mark on Sean Marks since that fool came in here with that James Harden crap. That was the stupidest, dumbest trade I have ever seen the Nets make, and they made some dumb ones. That was the dumbest.
But there you go, listening to KD. Everybody wants to say no, KD.
Right.
And then you double down on it by getting rid of him and giving us freaking Simmons. How dare you? You give us a player that doesn't even play.
What
don't even play.
Yo, where did this back injury come from? Because when he played with Philadelphia and choked in that playoff, I don't know where he came from with that back.
He's done. I was saying this last year. This dude is cooked. No, bro. He don't got no injuries like that. It's just this 1 year. He's cooked.
Yo, bro, you know
He's
had
through.
I had Knicks fans wanting to trade RJ Barrett for him, and I was like, I
I
gladly
would have
trade you
loved that.
fans.
Oh my
I would
goodness.
trade you fans before I trade RJ Barrett for Ben
I
Simmons.
would have laughed at Knicks fans to the moon. You would have never heard the end of me, bro.
Bro,
If
they
they
was
would have
telling me
did that.
how Ben Simmons was a superstar and all that. I was like, this dude he don't even take field
If
goals in the
we
playoff. This
get,
dude's scared to shoot.
Bro,
bro,
Scared to shoot,
th-
bro. The
he
dude don't
don't
even
that's
want to
shoot.
shoot.
sad,
He don't
bro.
want
It's
to shoot.
sad.
How do you don't
It's
shoot a jump
sad,
shot?
bro.
You've been in the league. Like, how many you don't shoot jump shots? I don't understand it. How they
He
let
get
him
to
get
the
away with
basket, he
this?
like,
And the dude is, and he has a height advantage every play.
6'10".
He on every play he play, he has a height advantage. He won't even post him
He
up in
play
the
like he 5'10", bro.
because he don't want to go to the free throw line either. He don't want to get fouled. He
I
don't want to
tell
go to the
you,
free throw line. I was like, that's
he
crazy.
he is the worst, highest paid player I've ever seen in
The
my life,
worst.
bro. The
That
worst.
dude is so
When I
trash.
see, and this is when I be judging Knicks fans. Not all Knicks fans, but the ones that because there was a point. Oh, I take RJ back. I take RJ. Julius Randle. Like, bro, like these guys. These guys are. Ben Simmons is making these guys look so great right now. Like Ben Simmons is just not even worth being in the NBA. Y'all need to send him to China, bro.
I
And
always
He's pitiful. He's pitiful. They don't want him in China. They don't want him in China.
and where he always chokes in the playoffs. He always chokes in the playoff.
He chokes in the regular season. He don't
I
have to
know.
choke in the playoffs.
I'm like,
You don't even play. Like, you don't even play. I can't even give an evaluation on you because you're
how
not
many
on the
years?
court.
How many more years on that contract? Is it about over?
Man, I don't know, man. If they don't get a buyout or something, bro, like I'm sick of this, yo. I'm
Yo,
sick of
what?
this. I went into last year, got hoodoo, like, okay, maybe this guy can come back, do some things. Nope. And then Nets fans try to sell me on this cat again.
No,
And
man,
I'm like, no, I'm not buying the same bootleg DVD twice.
I had a Net fan tell
I'm
me
not
he was
doing it.
better than Jalen Brunson. I laughed at that.
Oh my god!
No.
I laughed at that one,
I
boy. I
remember
was like, man,
they kept saying like he was the They said Embiid was the problem. I was like, nah, Ben Simmons is the problem. That's why y'all don't advance in the playoffs.
Clearly,
Y'all don't advance in the
he's
playoffs
the
because
problem.
it's because of him, not Embiid.
The only reason the Nets don't look dumb as they do is because James Harden stinks.
And then he wanted his own team. He wanted his own team, right? That's why he wanted to leave Philadelphia. He wanted his own team. So now he got his own team in
Yeah.
Brooklyn. That's not even his team. That's not even his team.
nah, that's
Man,
not.
he don't
No
have a
way.
team. His team is team bench.
So
What the hell he need to be?
He getting
yeah,
paid.
so y'all got him. Y'all got him for one more season, and on his last year of his contract, he's
Expiring
making $40 million. So
See
that's
what
a
I'm
good.
saying?
That's a good expiring contract.
That's a
That'll
great
come off your books at the end of the year, but I don't know who would take that. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Bro, you gonna have to buy him out
Yeah, that's crazy.
somehow. You gotta get
He's
him off this
making
team.
he's making 37.8 this year.
Man, bro. Leaf, what's good, bro? I got the link in the chat. I'll throw the link
He's
in the
making
chat for you.
37 this year.
Wow.
That shit
Yep.
crazy, man.
I guess the only one to be if they could trade for Karl Anthony Towns and put some draft picks with it and his contract and some other people. Bring Karl
can't.
Anthony.
I'll be honest with
Ain't nothing
y'all
you can
though.
do
I'll
with
be
it
honest
though.
with y'all though. Like as successful as Minnesota's are, I mean they are this year.
Mhm.
I think they trading Karl Anthony Towns would be the stupidest thing for them because they look pretty good this year. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
Leaf, what's good with you, Leaf Diggy? Welcome to the show, bro. I'm gonna go on here for about 10 more minutes. Then we're gonna get to Coach's Corner. Then we're gonna wrap it up. But talk to me, man. What's the temperature, man, with this Nets team right now?
Temperature is not good. It's not good right now. It's ice cold. It's not good. I'm maintaining my composure. A happy New Year to y'all, by the way.
Happy New Year, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man. But I'm maintaining my composure. I see somebody in here with a tangerine background, man. I don't like it. And, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Listen, but look, this is the absolute. This is the absolute shit show. I don't know what's going on, bro. We trailed by damn near 25-30 that entire game, and I did that game with a baritone in my voice on my channel, and just to do it, man, because I came home early. I said, let me just do the game. I didn't want to do the game. I said, let me just do the game. I did the game, and I was disgusted from the time that the ball tipped off all the way to the end. I was highly disgusted. The problem with this team is very, very simple, bro. Point guards, pace. We don't have it. Athletic fours, man. Athletic fours to be basically DBs on defense. We don't have them neither. We don't have them. I've been suggesting that. I was suggesting that months ago when everybody told me I was tripping when we was 3-2 with Ben Simmons in the lineup, and I knew Ben Simmons was gonna pull this my back hurt shit, and this was gonna be what it's gonna be, bro. Like that's why we needed a backup plan. We didn't have it. Him. Yeah, he pulled that. That's what he pulled. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, bro, like if I said all this on Twitter, if I said all this and I threw all of these videos out to Jock Vaughn, to Jockstrap Vaughn, and Sean Marks and Mark ass Mark, man, and Mark ass Mark, and who else? Joe Asai. If I threw all this out, bro, you didn't want to sign Kai Jones to bring off the bench with Day'Ron Sharp. You didn't want to go after you're still not going after Donovan Mitchell. You're still not going after marketing. You're still not going after Dejounte Murray.
Mitchell?
Yeah, they still not going after DeJounte Murray. You're still not going after whatchamacallit. When is enough going to be enough for this team to take a stand? You basically said F the stars and say, yo, we taking our franchise back with that quote unquote, or we taking our franchise back ish, man, with getting it back from KD. But the thing is, a lot of GMs and a lot of front offices thought they could do it without talent, but they all failed. Trust me, bro. Jerry Krause thought he
not score, bro.
Yeah, Jerry Krause thought he could do it without Jordan, bro. He failed. Phil Jackson thought he could do it without top talent. He failed. So the thing is, man, when is enough going to be enough for you to finally take a stand and go all in?
Gee, I ain't watched the game, bro.
I did.
Gonna hold you. How does your two guards, Dinwiddie and Cam Thomas, score nothing?
Nothing.
That's what I said earlier. Dinwiddie scored no points.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Cam Thomas is being sabotaged because he's being put in spots in the game where he got to dig the team out of a hole.
He's 0 for 11.
Yeah, he was 0 for 11.
Yeah. Jack Vaughn don't even know how to use Cam Thomas the right way.
At all. And I didn't even get on that Knicks trade. I thought that was pure stupidity.
You got 41 minutes of zero production from your two guards. That's unacceptable.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's production.
Zero. Absolutely. Go ahead, look at it again. Go ahead, look at it again.
I thought terrible, this shit was an error.
That's
why I asked you.
Bro, I watched the entire game from beginning to end dreadfully, bro. I wasn't dozing off. I was just sitting there,
and
not
Bridges
trying to
gives
yell.
You fucking 13. He doesn't do shit either.
Listen, the strength of this team was supposed to be pace and supposed to be getting easy buckets. We don't have it. We don't have no guards to set none of these scorers up, set none of these shooters up. The pace is bad because Dinwiddie slows the ball up the court and looks for nothing. He's as a lead guard, I don't like him. I need him off the ball. Need him off the team. Yeah, that one of the two. The thing is that. You know what I'm saying? As far as Ben Simmons, I heard what y'all was saying about as far as Ben Simmons goes, amnesty clause is in his future. That's what it is. The start of next season, amnesty clause is in his future.
Let me ask y'all something about that. That still exists, the amnesty clause, or do we still have that rule in effect, or?
I think it still exists, but the thing is, it's like one. I think with the new money that's gonna be lined up for a lot of these NBA teams, you could be able to do it for the large contracts like the $40 million contracts, because they messed around and did it for Chris Paul. I think they messed around and got him on a buyout. I think and he messed around and got to Phoenix.
I'm saying he has an expiring contract, right? He got one more year now, so
yeah, one more year. He ain't gonna play out that one more year. He gonna sit his ass out. Fuck him. We
He got
gonna
to
send him
go,
out.
man.
Yeah, he
He
got
got
to
to
yeah.
go.
Sit your ass
He
home,
got to get
bro.
up out of here, man.
Even your brother don't believe in you, bro. You sit your
Or
ass
y'all
out.
could get, or y'all could get a medical exemption if it's back or something like that. Medical exemption or something like that.
I don't even know what that is, man. But it sounds more technical than it sound to me, bro. Like I'm thinking to get his monkey ass out and get his monkey ass out now. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm not I'm
The
not
thing
I'm
You
not
is,
with
the
know,
the
thing,
I'm
the
not with
thing
all
is,
that technical
like,
stuff.
if you do it like NYG said, it'll probably be more of a buyout than anything because I don't think somebody trades for him.
No,
no.
no. But I
If
think
you're a general
I
manager,
think it's
would
gonna be
you
more of an
want
I think it's gonna be more of an amnesty because I don't think anybody's gonna buy him out.
Ben Simmons? Would you
Oh
want Ben
wow!
Simmons?
Well, I'll tell you like this: it probably can happen in a 3-team trade where the
Who
Nets would
buying
be.
him out for 40?
No. I'm saying to get out of. I mean, to get things off their books too. To get an expiring contract to get off of their books if they want to get rid of some bad contracts. So on the 3 or 4 team deal, he might be included somewhere somehow to make. You know what I'm saying? That's the only possibility.
I'll put it to you this way: a shit show is a shit show. Get his ass out the league. I don't want to see him no more.
Oh, shit.
Facts,
I'm
man.
saying,
That's where I'm at with it. And as far as the Knicks and as far as the Tangerines go, bro, I don't know what type of trade that was, man. But listen, it looked like a Tom Thibodeau. It looked like Tom Thibodeau basically making an elbow room in that organization, man, with that trade. OG Anunoby, man, for RJ Barrett, who has a higher ceiling, and whatchamacallit, who has a higher ceiling than him. For two
IQ.
players that had a high ceiling and two players that was drafted in the draft. Now this seemed like a domino effect to me because Obi Toppin, y'all let go, and now he's part of arguably one of a
We got
new
rid of the young
record setting offense in Indiana. And then
guy.
now y'all just let RJ Barrett and whatchamacallit go
but
because
but
he didn't
but
want to pay them.
if you
Mm-mm.
really think
Mm-mm.
about it though, right? Obi lost his starting spot. He back on the bench doing the same, and he hasn't gotten any better. He's playing this. He did the same thing that he's doing now this year with the Knicks. We haven't seen anything better.
Nothing.
Defensively, it's the same problem, and
Mm-hmm.
all he does is stand on the corner, shoot threes, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. So I
And,
see
and
why they
and
traded
and
him.
and you basically gave up your best bench player for the second year in a row, and
So,
RJ Barrett, who's one of your best ISO scorers and was turning into a
but
pretty good passer
but
as well.
but Leaf, let me ask you something, right?
So
After we went and tried to resign quick, because we tried to resign him, we was
mm,
working out a deal for him. He want to be paid top money. In
yes,
that position, what do you do if you're not gonna sign him? He wants 25 million a year, right? It seems like he wants to start. He can't. He's not gonna be able to start with the Knicks unless they put him at the two, which I don't see them doing. And we got Jalen Brunson at the one.
right,
So I
but
guess they figure like, you know what? He's not signing with the Knicks. We might as well get something for him. And
right.
I think that's why he was included in the
Yeah,
trade.
that's why he was included.
Yeah, that's
I
why
think
we
that
was. Yeah, I understand that wholeheartedly. But like the thing about these upcoming restricted contracts, like you basically gonna be playing a lot of these young players. That's a restricted money deal, bro. That's like the best deal to have,
yeah, because
especially for the player,
you
bro,
get
because the
the
player
you,
gonna eat regardless. You know what I'm saying? So they be like, yo, somebody gonna want to pay me, but like let's see who gonna be silly enough to overprice or overtax for this. The Knicks
that's the
just don't
problem.
happen to not be one of them teams, but
Let Coach get in there real quick. I know Coach wanted to say something real quick. Iman said that's
Mm.
the league. Everybody just shooting threes. Right.
Hmm.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Coach.
that's a fact.
quickly. I mean, everybody's just, and that's the problem with this, with talking about this trade, because all I hear is quickly and RJ Barrett for OG, but the Knicks got more out of that. They got a backup power forward. They were
Yep.
playing small ball, but now you have a backup power
They
forward.
only played him for 8 minutes, coach.
Okay,
That's just his,
you
that's
just
his
got
first
him,
game.
so that doesn't count. I mean, now you have to give it some time and see. But you know what? The kid he can play a little bit of defense. He can rebound. He could be physical, and on top of that, he can shoot a little bit. So you have to look at it in the entire aspect of the trade. Also, the other factor is OG helps open up the floor. He's
Yep.
not RJ Barrett, which you have to give him the floor, and he's attacking the paint and this net. He's a 3-and-D guy. You know what? He'll sit out on the wings. He'll cut. He'll come in when necessary. but you don't need him. He doesn't need the ball. He won't clog up the lane. And the fact that he can get 17 points and you don't need to give him the ball, that tells you
Mhm.
everything you need to know right there about him. So now, and the final thing is to get a player like that, you still had to give up something. I mean, there's no trade that, you know what, more than likely you're just going to get away with not giving up anything. You had to give up something. And you gave up a second round draft pick for him. Yes, it's Detroit, and so it'll be number 31, but you didn't give up a first round draft pick. Now, if you had to said, with the trade they gave up first round draft picks, then you know what, you could start to question a little bit more. But realistically, you got three players for two players. That's what you got.
And coach, and
I mean,
coach,
well,
don't forget real quickly. If I'm dry, I'll land the plane. Don't forget the three first round picks they wanted the season prior for
Hmm.
OG Anunoby.
Exactly. So you did get something of value. The Knicks did get something of value. Now you talked about the restricted. What's to say you get
mhm.
something? What's really to say you get something of great value? If quickly signs with someone else, they have the right to match it. And if they don't match it, what happens then?
If they don't match it, then the other team get that the other team that placed
They
that
just
bid,
gonna
they
sign.
basically
They
get
gonna
that.
sign it straight.
And
Yeah,
we
yeah,
lose them for nothing.
I will. I understand all that. With the quickly part, I understand. With the RJ Barrett part, I'm kind of like I'm still mixed. I'm still mixed about it a little bit, but in terms of even everything that you said about OG not being in the way and OG being more the corner spot shooter and giving you a little bit more defensively, bro. Like, listen, what RJ was on, like, I thought I would like to think that RJ and Quickly was a part of the homegrown talent that the Knicks was trying to bring, just trying to
Fair,
to bring
fair.
up. Because when you
Hmm.
draft like that, and then you have, I can't remember the last time the Knicks drafted players that were ascending every single year. I can't remember it. Can't
Right,
remember.
right.
But
But the thing,
and number two, when I think of that, and then you pair that alongside Randall, who you got in the trade, and you pair that alongside
Bronson.
Brunson, who you got in the off season. I think that was I think that was a pretty solid recipe. Now, what happened to Mitchell Robinson? Now, to get on the pressure Chua spot, the Mitchell Robinson out for season and Jericho Sims out. Now they down to Hartenstein, and Precious Chua probably gonna be playing more this 5 spot instead of the 4. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So realistically, that's just more of a body. You could bring him in some bench minutes. Hartenstein is good. He's playing as well as he could play right now, but at the same time, I'm looking at when I look at when I know how Tibbs coach. I know how
Hmm.
he coaches. He's going to delegate this down to 8-man rotation,
Hmm. Hmm.
and the thing is, it's going to be OG Anunoby, bro. Listen, we're going to turn you. We basically going to run you like we ran Luau Dang. We're going to run you into the ground. And I see it happening before it actually happened, because the thing is, he likes players that could play defense, and he likes players that could get gritty on defense. But OG Anunoby is probably smart enough to like foul out and be like, "Yo, I ain't playing 40 minutes, man."
Foul
But
out.
yeah, he's
You gonna
smart enough to foul out and be like, "I ain't playing 30 minutes for this nigga, man. Like, he gonna be up, man. You ain't about to run me over there in 40 minutes like you ran them niggas in Chicago, because all he ran is caskets out here. He the Undertaker in Chicago, as far as I'm concerned. So,
you gonna
so the
play
thing.
something minutes.
Exactly. So when you overrun them in minutes, man, and then what happens is you overexert these players, and then you know what happens after that? Injuries. That's what
yeah.
happens.
Nah, I agree with that. I agree with most of it. But the one thing that RJ hasn't been able to do is knock down the 3-point shot. And I think that that was another one of the reasons why he was, because OG could shoot those.
Hmm.
He could knock down those 3-point shots that RJ wasn't knocking down.
Mhm.
So I think that's one of the reasons why we made that trade.
Yeah, definitely. Hold on, I gotta make this call, but hold on. Damn.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
NYG, you still there?
Hey, I wanted to touch up on something with y'all. I don't know if
Yeah,
y'all
yeah, yeah.
wanna.
I'm here.
I know y'all brought up the Yankees. We haven't been able to touch up on that one yet.
Oh
Oh yeah,
God.
yeah. Go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, I was
Oh.
going.
Uh,
Yeah.
Um, when it comes to the Yankees, man, like the whole Yamamoto, I think
Mhm.
I pronounced it right.
Yeah,
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto, Yoshinobi
um,
Yamamoto.
yeah, Yamamoto. Like, listen, man. When it comes to that, I think he just used the Mets and Yankees to get some leverage to get paid. Um,
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, and a lot of Yankee fans was calling me crazy. My father, who's a Met fan, was calling me crazy. Um, I wasn't willing. I'm not. I mean, I hear all the good, great. Oh, he's a good pitcher, this and he's a solid pitcher at his age, and I get all that. I get it, but how can we sit here overpay a guy and pay him more than our a Cy Young pitcher in
True.
in Garrett Cole, and this guy
Yeah.
hasn't even pitched a Major League Baseball game yet.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it like this. I think that was already in the works with once Otani signed.
Otani, right?
Yeah, once he signed,
Yeah.
I knew he was going
Yeah.
there. It wasn't no
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
he was going there. That they already had that backdoor deal and all that stuff, and so I knew that was going to happen. I wasn't
I
really
think
worried.
the Yankees. I think their offer was 300 million. So
Yeah, yeah, and I thought that was a decent deal, but 325. I'm not paying you more than Garrett Cole, man. You bugging, you
Sure, but
bugging.
you look at it, what was it, a 12-year deal? So it's only like 25 million a season. So I think it was a 12-year
mhm.
deal.
Oh,
So
was it 12? Was it
yeah,
12? I thought it was
yeah,
9.
yeah, it was a 12-year deal.
Oh, I thought it was 9. Okay.
Yeah,
All
they
right,
be
then that,
bugging
Yeah.
with these deals too, man.
yeah,
Like,
but that's ridiculous for a guy who never pitched one inning in this league.
right.
But you look at it, it's only it's like what is it, 25 mil a season?
Well, I
Yeah,
think they
but
also said
still, like,
there's there's some opt out clauses now. I was just quickly skimming over a little bit earlier. I just don't know. I don't know the specific details, but I think both sides have a way of opting out after a few years. So, and that seems to be the trend with all contracts nowadays.
Yeah.
You're
Hmm.
starting to see that, yeah, they say this number in terms of dollars and years, but they're starting to be opt out, so it protects either the team or the player or both parties. So,
Yeah,
so I
The
mean,
thing with
and
the
that.
Yankees though is, look, yeah, you missed on Yamamoto, but it can't be the end of the road for you. Like you
Mm-mm.
had to have a backup plan. You had to have thought of something because in a sense, soon as I seen Otani sign with the Dodgers, I already knew the fix was in. You know what I'm saying? I already knew he was going over there, and I knew that, like you said, Kev, they were using the Yankees and the Mets to drive up the price for the Dodgers because that's ultimately where he wanted to be at. It's on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? They're from
Mhm.
Japan. Which is
of
it's
course.
in closer proximity. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's an easier commute back to the crib.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying? And LA is it's a big market, but it ain't New York. They ain't going to
Mhm.
choke slam you if you throw a you know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
give up a home run or something like that. So I think a lot of these players are starting to realize that this market ain't for everybody. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And
yeah,
you
that's a
see a
fact.
lot of stars curve New York, not because they hate New York, it's because the
Media.
media is so ridiculously harsh on athletes
Yeah, they
and it
are.
bleeds over into the fan base and it's just a shitstorm. And
And
this
then you
is
look
That's a fact.
every team we cover. It's
and
the
then you
That's
look
why.
same thing.
That's why I'm glad we do stuff like this because the media, they turn players against each other. They
Yeah,
turn
man.
players against each other, man.
But if you look at it, the Yankees is like you paying like Judge 300 something million, Stanton like 300 something million, and then Soto's contract is coming up.
Stanton is the problem.
Yeah, but Soto's contract coming up, you gonna have to pay this guy too. What he's gonna get 500 million?
Yo,
Probably.
and he just turned down 440.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And he's only 25 years old, so he's gonna get
Right.
like a 500
And
million
I
dollar
think he
contract.
gonna light it up in New York too.
And I'm
They're
gonna
gonna
tell
be
you
forced
this.
to pay
I'm gonna
him.
tell
I
you
think
this.
he's gonna light it up.
I hope he does because I mean I still haven't celebrated the trade Cause I'm like, bro, if you ain't resigning, there's no need to celebrate.
But
Yeah.
no, but they said he's gonna hit free agency. He's not going. He's gonna hit free
That's what
agency.
I'm saying. Like,
Mm.
bro, I got all these Yankee fans. Yo,
But
y'all said, bro, I'm not
hey,
celebrating that, bro.
I'm gonna say this, man, because he's trying to chase Judge's records and home runs. That left porch is going to allow him to
He
do that.
gonna light it up. I'm telling you.
I
And
can't wait to watch it. I'm
if
gonna watch.
if yeah, he might say I might hit free agency, but then you start to sit there and say, well, damn, if I can hit left, if I can play my folk the rest of my career here, that left porch that might push me to, who knows, can he catch the 700 record? So
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
And
like
they
it's
talk
like.
about these things too, coach. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? They have these conversations like, hey, so ask Soto, if we trade for him, is he gonna be, what I'm saying? They have these kind of conversations, preliminary discussions. Okay, well let's make the trade. If he does well here, more than likely he's gonna sign with you guys. So I think
Fact.
that's probably the conversation. Now if he gets hurt and some other funky stuff happens, and who knows? But I think as long as he's here and he's healthy, he'll do well and he'll more than
We still
likely
need
the
some
Yankees will.
pitching though. We
Shea
still
with
need some
another
pitching.
Shea
That's
with
the
another
problem.
30-pointer against the
I think that's our I think that is our biggest problem right now is our starting rotation out of Jericho. I'm
That's
not
it.
too sold on Rodon.
I'm
I
not
think
either.
Alyssa
I'm not
Alyssa
sold
come
on
back
him.
from injury, right? Montas.
He
hmm
left.
Frankie
He signed.
Montas,
left.
he was
He went to
trash.
Cincinnati, so he was
Oh
trash.
man,
We got
So you know,
Nestor
like we got holes.
Cortez, we got
We got
and
holes,
Smits,
yeah.
and yeah, that's it.
and I'm
But
hoping there's a way that the Yankees could sign Jordan Montgomery. I'm hoping, like I'm
Shouldn't have
keeping
never
my
got rid
fingers
of him.
crossed.
I hate that though. I hate that the
I
fact
hate
that
it
you gotta
too.
go out here and you gotta
I
give him
hate it too.
all this damn money when you had him in under contract. You know what I'm saying?
I was really disappointed that we even traded him. When we traded him, I was like, man, but this kid got talent. We just couldn't give him enough run support. We couldn't give him any offense. Most of those games that he pitched, if you go back, man, he was in most of those games. Um, and then I don't know what happened in Cincinnati. I mean, in St. Louis, he became this even better pitcher.
Right.
They did some kind of they worked on his mechanic or whatever in St. Louis, bro, and
Hmm.
and he just became this ace overnight. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, they talking about Montgomery. They talking about trading for this guy out there in Cleveland.
I
Go
heard
to the
about that.
I
Guardians.
Yeah,
think his
Guardians.
name.
Is it
yeah,
Shane
the
Bieber?
Guardians, the
Yeah,
Cleveland
yeah,
Indians. I hate calling them
yeah.
the Guardians, bro. The
Shane
Cleveland
Bieber.
Indians.
Shane Bieber. But I mean, to me, look, you got to go get somebody to help
You
Cole
do,
out.
you
You
do.
got to get somebody.
Yeah.
We can't depend on Rodon
Nah,
and Cortez. We just can't.
nah.
Yeah, and that's the
So
Cortez, right?
Severino's gone. He's on the Mets now, so
Yeah.
you got to get somebody in there. You know what I mean? And still got to work on that bullpen too.
yep.
hmm
So Yankees got some work to do. I like the lineup, but pitching to me, that's what gets it done in the playoffs.
Yes,
You know what I'm
Fact.
sir.
saying? For
That's a
real.
fact. That's
But
what won us those championships. That's what made us become a dynasty. We had
yeah.
pitching.
Yeah. You remember the days we had Clemens, we had Cole. I mean,
Yeah.
Cone, David
We had
Wells.
Jimmy Key. Jimmy Key.
Yeah,
Mike
You
Mussina.
know.
Pettit,
Mike Mussina.
Hmm
Mussina.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how
we
we
had
was
it,
getting
boy.
it done.
We had pitching
We,
central. We
we
had
had the best. We had the best closer in baseball, Mariano Rivera. Like we don't even got that no more.
Yeah. Uh, um, Clay
How
Holmes.
the
I
hell
guess
this
that's
guy
the
go to
closer. I
Texas
don't
and
know.
win a championship all of a sudden? Like what, bro? You wasn't pitching like that with us.
Yo, man,
Mm-hmm.
and
You just missed him.
that's sometimes that come with the pressure of New York. Like I said, what's my man's name? They used to dog him out, man. Joey Gallo. Joey
Oh
Gallo
yeah,
left and did well. The guy, remember Sonny Gray? He
Sonny
left. He
Gray.
went
Sonny
over there and did
Gray.
well.
Yes,
You
he
know what I'm
became an
saying?
ace. He became an ace again.
He couldn't
It
cut it with us, man.
it
I
be
remember
this
that.
market, man. I'm telling you, it's something about this market that these athletes just aren't equipped to handle this no more. You know, I don't know if it's an age thing or what, but it's like the pressure. Just a lot of these athletes just rather not deal with the pressure of playing in New York. They rather go somewhere else, have less pressure, get the ball out, and still make their bread instead of coming here. You know, having the media. You know, every time you fart, you know they got an article in the paper. Oh, you see, Aaron Judge farted on the sidelines. He must be, slumping or something. Like they make a big deal out of everything, and it's
You saw you saw Carlos Rodon last year cursed out some of the fans. Like, yo, forget it, bro.
And
He
that's
ain't
where it
gonna
be
be
getting to.
lasting.
It get to the Julius Randle. Sometimes it get like that, where you get the pressure is so intense. You just like, you know what? It's a meme on the on social media where it's a Jets fan, and now I don't think they was in the U. I think they was playing the Browns, but he was like, fuck.
Oh, he's talking about
Like
the offensive
he
lineman.
was
Yeah,
just going down the line like.
yeah.
That
The
shit was
last
funny
game.
as hell, yeah. But that's how this media be having these athletes, man. You know what I'm saying? And hey, sometimes I can't blame them. I can't blame them for clapping back. You know, they just can't let it get out of control.
I
You
I
know
ain't
what I'm
gonna lie to
saying?
you,
But
man. When Julius Randle
hey,
cursed out the fan base, I was hyped. Cause I'm
sometimes
like,
you
it's
gotta
about
clap
damn
back.
shame.
Yeah,
It's about damn time somebody says something, man. Cause
for
I'm about
real.
tired of this fan base already, bro. I'll be going at it with the fans. Like, I'll be tired of it.
Word up, man.
But
But appreciate y'all, man, for joining us, man. We're gonna get
was,
in the
bro,
coaches
man.
corner. That's the final segment we got for the night. You guys are more than welcome to stay on and listen on. I
Wait a
know
minute, wait a
Coach got
minute. Put up
some
the
fire.
promo, the trailer. Put up the trailer. Did you
Yeah,
get it?
I'm gonna
Oh
be out,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. I got it.
NYG,
All right.
thanks for having me on, man.
Yo,
Thanks
guys,
everybody
man, I
for being
appreciate
on
y'all.
tonight, man. And I'll come back on another time, bro. But I'll
Appreciate
catch
you,
up
man.
another time,
Anytime,
bro.
man, Cave. Anytime you want to
Oh,
come
you
through,
know
man.
it, bro.
I like chopping it up with you, man. You know, you seem pretty knowledgeable about all the
Oh yeah, man.
all the teams. So that's
I'll
what
be
we
doing
like to
I'll be
do.
doing I'll be
We
doing it on my
yeah,
channel too, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's all good.
If you don't mind, what's your channel? So I can follow you.
It's the Man Cave Podcast. I have to if you go to my Instagram, my Twitter and stuff like that is on there or something like that.
You said
Caitlin
the
Clark
Man
is
Cave
beat.
Podcast on Twitter.
Yeah, on Twitter, the Man Cave Scott.
Caitlin Clark with
Oh,
40 points tonight.
Oh,
Damn.
Caitlin.
I got
Okay.
you. I'll
Oh,
check it out.
Yeah. So I'll put in the link if I could do it and stuff like that. All right.
As
I
what is it?
appreciate you.
The Man Cave Podcast 7.
No, it's the Man Cave on what on Twitter? It's gonna be the
Yeah.
Man Cave
No, on
underscore.
YouTube.
No, it's just the Man Cave one word dash the Man dash cave. You probably get off my Twitter though, the Man Cave Scott, because you follow me though.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I
All right,
got you, bro.
once I get off, I'll follow you on Twitter. I'm on Nixon-ish, so I'll follow you, just so you
Okay,
know.
yeah. If you drop in the link right now, like I said, NYG, he can get in. That's it.
Let's see.
That'll be
Yo,
cool,
so
bro.
I appreciate you, NYJ Coach, man. Thank you for having
Coach,
me,
Nah,
bro.
bro.
This was dope, man. I appreciate
Anytime,
y'all.
man.
appreciate you
Anytime, my
guys.
brother,
Thank
get
you.
man.
well,
But
Coach.
Almost there. Thank I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a successful New Year's, man. All right.
All right, you too, man. We got
2024.
to use everybody, bro. Let's
You as
go.
well, Coach. You as well, Coach. Take care, y'all.
All right, peace.
definitely, man. Appreciate you guys
Peace. Peace.
for joining in. But Coach, it's that time. So we teased it a little earlier. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll out the trailer, and then we're gonna get in the coach's corner, and we're gonna get up out of here, man. Appreciate each and every one of y'all, man, for joining in. So this is our new segment that we're gonna be rolling out next week. called NYC Culture. We're gonna be tapping into the culture of New York City, man. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna open up a lot of good discussions, man. I'm excited for it, man. But here we go. All right, man. So coming soon to a podcast near you, man. That's our new segment, NYC Culture, man. Debuting next week on Heart of the City. But that being said, we're gonna turn it over to Coach for the latest edition of, you know what it is, Coach's Corner. Let's get it.
All right, NYG, I appreciate you. Thank you for that. It's going to make it a real simple coach's corner today. Not really too much to really dive into for the most part. Tonight, I would start out with Syracuse in basketball. They played their game today, and unfortunately, they came up on the with an L. Finished right now. They're standing at 10-4 in the ACC. Lost 86-66, so it's a tough one. So definitely going to be looking to rebound going into the next game. Also continuing with Syracuse, they just had their bowl game against it was the Boca Raton Bowl. They played South Florida, and unfortunately, they got goose egged. They lost. I wrote it down. Sorry, I forgot where I wrote it. I think it was 49-0 or 40-0, something to that effect. So it wasn't a good look for them. But they still continue to hit the trail and getting good recruits. So still going to be paying attention to that and how they're doing, especially with Coach Fran Brown with what he's doing. So. The bowl game, I will say, I think they lost a lot of guys who either tapped out or are transferring out. So, it's not like they had their full squad. So, but, it was a tough one. So, as far as Rutgers, the men's team, they just squeaked by this past weekend. Um, they won 59-58 with a last-second three-point shot. Otherwise, it would have been a devastating loss because the team they played was only had 2 wins. So it's not right now a good look, and it's getting into Big Ten play. They play Ohio State coming up next. Right now, they stand at 8-4. So Coach Pike, he's going to do his magic, and we got to see how they finish out. Within the Big Ten, can they make a push for the NCAAs? But one good thing. 3 of their recruits actually had high school games played at Rutgers Stadium. So it was jam-packed in there with fans for Rutgers. Now, Dylan Harper did not play for Don Bosco. He was out with an injury, but that Don Bosco did dominate and win big, so they didn't need him. Ace Bailey, McKieran's high school, came up here and they took on Camden High School, and they totally destroyed Camden High School. Ace Bailey put up a 40-pointer over Camden, so he just totally dominated the show. And you still saw the potential with him. And then Lathan Somerville, who's their big man that they drafted, 6'10" center. His high school also came through and they won big in the game. So it's looking good for the future in terms of their recruits and what they're going to be bringing next year. Also, Rutgers played in the Pinstripe Bowl out at Yankee Stadium. They took on Miami, and to Rutgers, they played Rutgers branded football. That's what I'm going to say. A very physical game, and they totally, for the most part, they did dominate Miami. Miami did fight back to make it a close game. Rutgers ended up winning 31-24, but Rutgers jumped out 14-0, but Miami came back 17-0, and it was a punt block and a recovery in the end zone for Rutgers, which sparked them, which they ended up going up by double digits, but Miami ended up closing down to the final points. But Rutgers was led by, of course, Kyle Monangai, 163 yards on 25 carries with one touchdown. But again, it was, Rutgers being physical. They even used and I'm sorry I know it's going to hurt some people to hear them say it, but they used the push tush to basically get quite a few first downs or a couple of touchdowns by Gavin Wimsatt. So they used one where they did the trick where went to Gavin, and Gavin between his legs gave it to Kyle, and Kyle ended up getting a first down, I believe, on the play. So that's pretty much going to be it right now. Really can't get you too much right now because of my current situation. So. But hopefully I can, when I get home, I'll be able to get us more info, including the WNBA, because I wanted to touch base on that, and also the women's sports. So, but that's it tonight for Coach's Corner. So I appreciate everyone for tapping in, and thanks a lot, NYG.
Nah, no doubt, man. Always fire, man. Always fire, man. Coach's Corner. You already know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I always like to hear your thoughts on the college game and the women's game. Of course, try to
Well,
bring you some more.
now that the football season is over with, I mean, other than when draft season comes around, um, I'll be expanding Coach's Corner to take a look at St. John's and UConn and Seton Hall to include them into the Coach's Corner. So because we definitely want to touch bases with them, especially heading
Absolutely.
into March Madness within the next couple of months. So.
Hmm.
Um, it's just a lot sometimes when you got the football and college basketball starting, and with all the
Yeah,
teams here,
yeah.
don't want to oversaturate and
Hmm.
overbore everyone. So.
But as football is winding down too, even with um, even with the NFL, as the
Hmm.
NFL starts to wind down, I'm thinking about instead of doing, a Giants conversation on Sunday morning, maybe we do a Nets conversation or a Nets/Knicks conversation or something like that, something different to where we're not giving you the same repetitive content throughout because how many mock drafts am I going to make? How many
Hmm.
times we're going to talk about Daniel Jones and the same repetitive conversations over? So we want to bring you some different things here with my platform, and of course I know Coach as well on his channel, and of course here when we do it together. That is in the works. Like I said, we're gonna be talking some more about New York City culture and some of the hot
Mm-hmm.
topics surrounding the city. You know, gonna give you some rankings, some top fives, things like that. So that's gonna be more in the works, and of course, definitely gonna be getting more into basketball, college basketball, and the NBA too, as the NFL season is pretty much over for us anyway, besides the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But appreciate each and every one of y'all for joining. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Please share the video if you don't mind. It helps me out. It helps Coach out. It helps the channel out. And guess what? It's free. That's right. No gimmicks. Absolutely free. Not charging you a thing for this content. Um, my goal here is to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So right now I'm at 223. So we got a little work to do, but I think we can get there. 1K or better by the end of this year. That's the goal, and I believe we will reach it. So, but that being said, Coach, you got anything before we get up out of here?
No, just tomorrow probably I'll be tapping in on the Pick and Roll podcast. So we'll be talking basketball there.
Definitely hit that
Um,
up.
I'm trying to maybe just see the ESPN talking about the Rangers now, 51 points, best in the NHL. So, but yeah, I'll be on
They
the
got
Pick and Roll
whooped today
podcast.
though. Tonight,
Yeah,
6-1.
so I'm trying to see if they won. They just started. So,
Yeah, the
um,
Rangers lost.
oh, all
The
right.
Rangers lost 6-1.
Oh wow, to Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Carolina, and the Islanders lost as well. They just lost in overtime 5-4 to the Avalanche. So
Oh, all right. But getting
not a
back
good night
to
for
what
New
I'm
York. But
Yeah, getting back to what I'm doing tomorrow, like I said, pick and roll. So, we'll be talking about the Knicks trade and, future storylines in reference to that. So, just, look out tomorrow. I believe it'll be 5 p.m. So, um, tap in if you got, you want to talk a little bit at the NBA. So, or hear some. It's just many different content creators. Toronto Raptor, Phoenix Sun, and Sixers fans are all on there. So NYG taps in from time to time as a Nets fan. So I'll be definitely be there to talk about it and shine a light on the Knicks. So what?
absolutely, man. Shout out to Mitch, Randy, and the fellas over there at the Hardcore Sports Network.
Uh-huh.
Pick and Roll podcast is I have pod favorite podcasts. I'm sorry, as I make my own content, but I do. It's like TV shows. Like you got your
Uh-huh.
favorite TV show, like you'll watch TV, but then you got your show. You like I gotta tune in for that
Uh-huh.
show, you know.
Uh-huh.
Um, and the Pick and Roll podcast is definitely becoming one of those shows, one of those podcasts. So definitely love being on there. Love talking basketball. Knowledgeable guys, knowledgeable fans, real fans. Support their team and know the game, and that's all I look for. Somebody that can have an intelligent conversation, take their emotions out of it, and let's talk
Uh-huh.
sports.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I
Yeah, have
respect
fun with
what they
it.
do
Definitely have
over there.
fun with it
Yeah,
too. So.
absolutely, man. So if you're not already subscribed, go subscribe to Mitch Kofsky, Coach Ed Gladney, Next Shift Randy. I believe all the links are in my description. I add links as people come on this show because, hey, look, it's not just me up here, It's not just Coach up here, You guys in the chat, you make the show. When y'all come on the platform, that makes the show, and we can actually have
Mm-hmm.
real sports dialogue. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always support, each and everybody that comes on the show. That's part of the Big Blue Crew and to an extension, Hardcore Sports Network as well. So appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming through. We'll be doing Giants conversation again Sunday, the final game of the season. I might spread it out to every other week in the off season, or maybe every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks or something like that, just because I don't want to get repetitive with the content. And like I said, maybe we'll throw some basketball um, streams in there or something like that, but definitely got big things coming for 2024. Like I said, on the way to 1K, man. That's the motto for this year, man. But into the next episode, man, I'm going to have to leave y'all guys, man, with the old Heart of the City outro, man. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Peace.